Welcome back to beautiful Toyota Arena in Ontario, California for a presentation of the Major Arena Soccer League on CBS Sports, Golazo Network. Tonight, the Empire Strykers host one of the most successful and historic franchises in indoor soccer, the Baltimore Blast. Between both teams, there is a plethora of talent that's going to be exhibited tonight on the turf. This should no doubt be an exciting game. Hello again, everybody, and welcome. My name is Christian Filliman, better known as Philly, and joining me once again under the bright lights at Toyota Arena, my good friend and colleague, J.R. Liebert, who around these parts is known as the Scarf.
It's going to be a fun one here at Toyota Arena, beautiful Southern California. While we've got the clinic going on behind us, the Baltimore Blast, the second best defense in all of MASL, against the second highest scoring team in the league, in that of the Empire Strykers.
Baltimore Blast currently occupy the third spot in the MASL standings, a team that just came off of a 9-game winning streak. 10-2-0 this season, very much improved from last season's disappointing 11-11-2 record. Head coach Dave Bascom has loaded up his roster with a lot of talent, led by Bruno Enrique, led by Juan Pereira, who successfully celebrated his 200th career point, and rookie sensation Chad Porch. And they have a very talented core of keepers in between the sticks.
Yeah, it'll be Julian Rodriguez up there tonight. All he's done this season is give up the second fewest goals per game in the entire league. It's the unstoppable force against the immovable object, and it is going to be fun here at Toyota Arena.
A WrestleMania reference, I love it. For the Empire Strykers, very much improved upon from last season, currently occupying a spot in the playoff hunt, led by first-year coach Onu Obasi, who as a player won a championship in this league with the Baltimore Blast. He has a talented core of players, led by international sensation Marco Fabian, Justin Stinson, and two-time Defender of the Year Robert Palmer. This is a team that's razzled and dazzled, and they too have a nice core of goalkeepers that feature in between the pipes.
Yeah, Baltimore looking to catch Chihuahua. Empire looking to strengthen their spot in the standings come playoff time. We're 2/3 of the way done with the season. The home stretch starts now.
The question that remains is, will Baltimore blast through Toyota Arena, or will the Empire strike them down? Well, you got to stick around to find out. You are watching the Major Arena Soccer League on CBS Sports, Golazo Network. Back in a moment for the start of today's game. The Major Arena Soccer League is proud to welcome you to MASL Soccer on CBS Sports, Golazo Network. MITRE, the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, MITRE is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at mitre.com. City of Ontario night here in Toyota Arena in, you guessed it, sunny Ontario, California. Christian Filliman and J.R. Liebert on the call with you tonight. An epic Sunday of footy here in the Major Arena Soccer League as the Baltimore Blast come into town to take on the Strykers. Considering the fact that both teams were part of the founding inception of this current rendition of the Major Arena Soccer League, it is impressive and amazing to me, JR, that this is only the 7th time both teams have meeting thus far. It's been the Blast, though, with a 4-2 record against the Empire.
Yeah, Blast controlling the, fledgling rivalry, if you will, for these two clubs that have been around so long, but two clubs that have gone in a little bit of a different direction. 10 championships for the Baltimore Blast. Of course, the Empire Strykers still looking for that first one.
2021, they managed to make it into the MASL finals where they lost to the hands of the most successful franchise in this sport, the San Diego Sockers. Folks, we have a bit of a delay in terms of the start of today's game, so we're going to just riff and banter with you a little bit, as we love to do. You said it, it's been an interesting season. The Baltimore Blast in 3rd place thus far in the MASL. On a 9-game winning streak at one point. They were the hottest team along with San Diego. They lost that last week at Utica. And the Empire Strykers currently riding a 2-game losing streak, looking to snap that today in front of the home crowd in Toyota Arena.
Yeah, something's got to give, right? Both teams a loss in the column before they play tonight. So who's going to get back on the right side of things? Will it be Baltimore or will it be the Empire Strykers?
Last season it was a sweep by the Blast, albeit very close games between both sides. Always entertaining when you get some talented players going up against one another. And look, we are beyond thrilled that you are joining us tonight on CBS Sports Golazo Network. This should really be an entertaining game of indoor soccer.
Yeah, and like you said, it's Ontario night here at Toyota Arena. The city that gave us Landon Donovan. That's right, born in Ontario, California. Hobie Alter, if you like to surf. Hobie surfboards are some of the best ones out there. I read a lot of Beverly Cleary when I was growing up. Philly, did you listen to any Frank Zappa? I know you're a music guy.
Well, Frank Zappa once taught me not to eat the yellow snow. I love me some Frank Zappa. And just to expand upon Ontario, for those of you not knowing this, it's 35 miles east of downtown Los Angeles. And, of course, it is the home of the Empire Strykers, the Ontario reign of the AHL, minor league team for the Kings, and an amazing venue in that of Toyota Arena, the Ontario International Airport, which if you follow this team, you have no doubt heard a lot about. Many have erroneously booked flights to Ontario, but not here in Southern California. But there is a connection, JR. As per our friends at Wikipedia, the name derives from the Ontario Model Colony Development, established in 1882 by the Canadian engineer George Chaffee. And I will get back to that momentarily. We were told there was going to be a delay, but evidently we are underway under the bright lights at Toyota Arena.
Yeah, this should be a fun one. Look out, tested early there are the Empire Strykers. It's Brian Orozco, #1 in goal for the Empire.
Yeah, Julian Rodriguez in between the pipes for the Baltimore Blast. I had a nice conversation with him earlier today. We're both kids out of Queens, New York. Him out of Bayside, me out of Forest Hills. And he's had a fantastic campaign here in the MASL, along with Mike Zierhofer. These are two keepers that Baltimore have that are in the top 4 in the league in their save percentage and goals against average.
Yeah, Julian Rodriguez 5-1 on the season. 2nd fewest goals per game allowed in the league. I mean, Zierhofer's right behind him at 4th. They have a 2-headed monster in goal, and it is tough to score on these Baltimore Blast. Philly's 2nd fewest goals allowed, just 55 coming into today's match.
And talk about their penalty kill at 100%.
I thought that was a misprint when we got here.
I didn't confirm this with David Bascone. We were chatting yesterday. I was very much surprised by that statistic as well. Nobody has scored on the Baltimore Blast in the power play. The Empire Strykers, a team very much improved in a lot of categories, along with their power play.
Yeah, what are they, 29%, I think, coming into this match on the season. But look, Philly, 100% on the penalty kill. We're not 5 or 6 games into the season. This is the 17th game of the year. We're past the 2/3 mark for Empire.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly the season has gone by for you newbies. About 24 games in the regular season before we head on over to the playoffs in beautiful Oceanside, California, where the San Diego Sockers are going to host a couple of rounds at Front Wave Arena. There we see Jesus Pacheco, Sweet P as we used to call him, as a member of the Ontario Fury, which is what this team was once known as, and the Empire Strykers. Making his return home, Pacheco has done really well this season, continuing to improve upon year after year. I know he misses Southern California.
Yeah, his next goal, by the way, will put him in double digits for the season. 9 goals, 7 assists for Jesus Pacheco here in his homecoming of sorts at Toyota Arena.
Talk about some of the milestones. We alluded to it earlier on the broadcast. Juan Pereira, wearing number 22 for the Baltimore Blast, just achieved the 200-point career milestone, which is amazing. Harold Hansen of the Empire Strykers, a local product out of Ontario, California, laces it off to Alan Perez. Emmanuel Aguirre chips it on over to the left. Tony Delatorre, who came over from the Kansas City Comets last season, shoots it. Easy save for Julian Rodriguez.
Yeah, that'll be as easy as it gets. Julian Rodriguez, 72 saves coming in. By my math, that puts him at 73.
You are a math teacher, so I would hope your statistics and everything comes off relatively quickly. Jamie Thomas, talk about Queens, spent his collegiate career at St. John's. Passes over to Patrick Thompson, who represented the Baltimore Blast along with 3 of his teammates in Utica at the Adirondack Bank Center during the second MASL All-Star game that took place. What a fun event that was. Really jealous and envious of everybody that got to attend. Between the skills competition and the competitiveness on the turf, that seemed like a lot of fun.
Yeah, my dad, born and raised in Utica. I really wish I could have been there as well to check out that game. We'll have 4 All-Stars from Baltimore, 2 more from Empire here on the floor at the turf of Toyota Arena today. 6 All-Stars in total.
Speaking of All-Stars, Andy Reyes makes his return back to the Empire Strykers. Andy Reyes, a native of these parts, the leader, one of the leaders, along with Marco Fabian in terms of assists. Really found a renaissance. Emmanuel Aguirre passes it into Justin Stinson. He represented the Empire Strykers in the All-Star game. One of the most talented midfielders you will see in the indoor game. A dynamic player and one of the focal points of the offense for the Empire Strykers.
Yeah, Stinson and Fabian squaring off against each other in that All-Star game. That was a fun matchup to see. Odd to see them in 2 different sides, though.
I love the All-Star game. More about that later. Munir Alami, who's a rookie this season, one of the 3rd leading scorers on the Empire Strykers, gets a whistle called. And we see a line change. Looking on the turf for Baltimore, we see Jonatas Mello, who is in his 9th season, did not play last year as a result of visa issues, but Mello, just a highly talented player in this league. It's great to have him back in the MASL.
Yeah, one of those 4 players we mentioned for the Baltimore Blast who represented them at the All-Star game.
Easy catch by Brian Orozco. Orozco is just continued to develop year after year. As we see, 2-time Defender of the Year Robert Palmer, passing it into Orozco. Orozco has scored from that distance. Keep an eye out on that. That ball gets headed high into the air. Seeing on the turf, second time here at Toyota Arena, Leonardo Espinosa, the Chilean signing, got his first goal for the Empire Strykers in a game, the last game that the Strykers played here against the defending champion Chihuahua Savage. Espinosa, a target forward who's going to look to be a big part of Onua Obasi's offense, a big physical presence, and he really shined in the game against the defending champion Chihuahua Savage.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun seeing how La Pantera integrates himself within the offense. He is wearing number 9, definitely a player you want to keep an eye on here.
He took a shot in the face, evidently by Juan Pereira. Thompson.
He came right off after he took that shot. Looks like he's okay.
Mello dumps it into Diegues. Ricardo Diegues, another outstanding talent who makes his return to the Baltimore Blast. There's Justin Stinson giving it over to Munir Alami on the counter as the Strykers. He dumps it off to Stinson. Stinson with a shot, saved by Rodriguez. And another attempt by Randy Martinez. Great defending by Baltimore.
Yeah, Patrick Thompson with the block there. That's why he was an All-Star this season. A fantastic play out in front. And we said it before, just 55 goals allowed on the season for Baltimore, 2nd fewest in the league.
Randy Martinez, I know Panda did an interview with him earlier. You're going to bear witness to that at halftime. Randy Martinez in his sophomore year in Ontario, California. So many fun facts to tell you about this city, but obviously we'll wait. We were a little surprised. We were told that this game was going to be delayed, but here we are. So many facts that we wanted to tell you, and now we're going to have to wait.
I mean, look, it's Daytona 500 Day. I had facts about the old Ontario Motor Speedway, all kinds of fun things ready to go.
Tony Delatorre, I just did an interview with him recently on the show Soccer in 60. Puts it over to Munir Alami. Tries to find some space. Taken away by Wellington.
One touch away there was Munir Alami, but Robert Palmer able to get it right back for Strykers.
8:51 remaining here in the first quarter, folks. For those of you unaware, 4 quarters here in the indoor game, 15 minutes apiece. Bruno Henrique, one of the offensive weapons, one of the many offensive weapons for the Baltimore Blast, lays it off. Marco Fabian in off the board to Alami. Munir Alami off of the MASL dasher board. Picked right back up by Alan Perez. out of Los Angeles, born in Van Nuys, UC Riverside product. There's Tony Delatorre looking to create some space for himself, but he gets his pocket picked by Kelvin Mwape.
Yeah, nice job by Mwape to cut off the middle there, forcing him to go to the outside, but another turnover here. Here's Delatorre.
Into Hansen. Great defending by the Blast. Teo Silva, who got the start, he has the ball right now as he's being marked by Palmer. Dumps it off, trying to find Enrique. And the Strykers regain possession.
Hansen taken down there in the box. Wanted a call, looked around for the officials. No call given.
Baltimore currently with a 10-2-0 record. Very hard team to beat. Undefeated at home and a stellar road record, which is exactly what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
We saw Chad Porch, the darling of the TST tournament. Pass in to Alan Perez. Great defending. Kick saved by Julian Rodriguez. Getting in the way of what could have been a dangerous opportunity in the box for the Empire.
Yeah, Rodriguez unafraid, pouncing on that ball out there. That's what you have to be in the MASL. You can't be afraid of that ball. You're going to face shot after shot after shot. And like we said, he's already now got 73 saves on the season. He is ready and ready for the task.
Aguirre to the right. There's a pass. Ball is loose. Does not convert. Stinson into Fabian. He one-times it. Another attempt, saved by Rodriguez, denying Marco Fabian, the reigning co-Golden Boot winner, stolen by the Strykers, into Alan Perez. Alan Perez tries to chip it high and into the net. It's going to be a goalkeeper restart, but before that happens, folks, we are going to head into immediate timeout. It is 0-0, 6:53 remaining in the first quarter. We will be back in a moment.
Wind 6 miles, runway 6 right, right on.
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back, utilizing their professional power to touch and inspire people in their local communities nationwide. Free soccer clinics, where kids can meet their heroes and learn new skills. After-school programs and special events. And surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Green Drop offers a better alternative than the outdated compression sleeves and socks, truly providing long-lasting relief at an affordable price. Green Drop's recovery products are uniquely suited to help our athletes battle aching joints and muscles. Learn more or try it yourself by visiting greendropcompression.com. Getting ready to resume the second half of the first quarter here at Toyota Arena. The Baltimore Blast taking on the Empire Strykers. Both teams getting a feel for one another. No dangerous opportunities, though, for either side, JR.
Yeah, Andy Reyes just missing an opportunity cutting through the box. We saw Marco Fabian with a one-timer, and then one right after. Is that a two-timer? I don't know. But either way, Marco couldn't get it on target, and we are still 0-0, 6.5 to play here in the first.
Can't say it's a two-timer. That has a lot of negative connotations attached to it, my friend. There's a pass into Randy Martinez, who has Munir Alami to the side, but getting in the way of it is the Baltimore Blast. Great defending and a close call. Strykers were really making a push to make something happen. Yeah, and that's Jairo Guevara, who got in between that Strykers sandwich.
You can see Baltimore playing a relatively low block here, forcing Empire to try to find a way through the middle. It's going to be tough. They do not give up a lot of goals. So can Empire find a way through?
That's been the question year-round. But even last season, both teams played very competitive. It's only a 2-goal game in both encounters. There's Justin Stinson with a shot well beyond the yellow line. Just clanks off of the plexiglass. That ball is loose, recovered by Martinez. Lays it into Emmanuel Aguirre, who comes back. Second stint as a member of the Empire Strykers. Started his youth career professionally in Liga MX with Atlas before heading on over to Toluca. Last year as a member of the Texas Outlaws, 6 goals, 8 assists, 14 points, all career highs for Emmanuel Aguirre.
Yeah, if you haven't watched a lot of Strikers soccer, you might be wondering, what the heck is number 1 Brian Orozco doing all the way up past midfield? That's the system that Coach Abbasi runs, and it is, look, there are games where it works very, very well, and then there are some games where it comes back to bite them. We're still 0-0, so we'll see what happens, but that's why you see Brian Orozco with the ball right now as far up as he is.
He dumps it into that corner to Munir Alami. Alami in his first season here out of Morocco, played for the Moroccan youth national team and in the Moroccan first division. He's really put up some numbers for Onuo Obasi this season. 4:40 remaining in the first. The Strikers looking to spread the defense of the Baltimore Blast. See Ricardo Dieguez and Juan Pereira up top trying to lay it in down low. Ball is loose. Picked right back up by Pereira. Scrum into the corner, won by Pereira, who's wearing that Captain's Coalition armband. We talked about that during our hit. There's Dieguez, but in the way is Justin Stinson, denying a pass to Jamie Thomas that could have led into a Blast goal. Stinson runs into a brick wall, runs right into Wellington, and the Blast recover possession. Wellington out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, is nicknamed Welly. There's an attempt, just misses. Welly, a rookie this season with the Baltimore Blast. And there's Chad Porch. A lot of you who followed that TST tournament again, scoring the game-winning goal for La Bombonera, $1 million goal out of Delaware. And Chad Porch just easily establishes himself in the indoor game. We know that usually is a tough transition for outdoor players, but not if your name is Chad Porch, or in the case of the Strikers, Marco Fabian.
Yeah, financially, I don't know that Chad Porch will score a bigger goal anytime soon. Look out. Shot taken, saved there by Brian Orozco. Beautiful save by the keeper as Robert Palmer, the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, comes back out and takes control of the ball.
Bruno Enrique had that shot. He's currently sitting on 10 goals, 10 assists, and 20 points. He is tied in terms of points with Chad Porch. He was the leading goal scorer for the Blast at 13 goals and 7 assists. Brian Orozco spent some time with the Guatemalan national senior team. You mentioned it, well out of position, but we've seen him score goals from that position on the turf.
Yeah, be ready for Brian to jump into the stands after he scores the goal as well. That's always fun to watch.
Oh, that was great. I remember 10 seconds into a game in the second quarter, scored a goal, jumped in, hugged his mother. One of the most endearing moments you will see in indoor soccer.
Yeah, it was fantastic. A great moment there. Jumped in. They knew that was going to happen, right? Brian said, look, Mom, next time I score, I'm jumping in, I'm saying hi, I'm giving you all the love, and he was able to do that just 10 seconds into the second quarter.
We've seen some fun things here. Do you remember back in the days of the Ontario Fury, we saw former defender Thiago Gonçalves score a goal as a member of the Fury, jumped in the stands and proposed to his fiancée.
Yep.
He was given a red card and taken out of the game, but I know his fiancée didn't mind that at the time. Shout out to Thiago Gonçalves, who I assume is in Brazil listening to this broadcast.
Yeah, not sure the coach loved it as he got the red, but either way, a really fun moment in the MASL.
We love this game. Indoor soccer is a lot of fun, and if this is the first time you're watching this greatest show on turf, Randy Martinez tries to find Munir Alami. Alami, an attempt, and that goes deflected into the net. It's going to be a restart, I believe, a corner kick restart for the Empire Strykers, and they've been quite devastating given these opportunities, courtesy of that man right there, Andy Reyes, who continues to collect assist after assist, sitting on 10. Tries to find Justin Stinson, taken away by Melu, who connects with Pereira. And there's Alami going basically from one side of the turf to the other, box to box essentially. We have a foul on the Blast.
Yeah, foul in the build-up there. You mentioned 20 points each for Baltimore's top 2. Munir Alami's next point will put him at 20 as well, the 3rd player for the Empire Strykers to reach that number.
Orozco trying to dump it in. Tough touch by Alan Perez, who gets his pocket picked by his former teammate, Jesus Pacheco. Pacheco out of Northridge, California, passes on over to Silva.
That was excellent defending by Pacheco, using his body and the wall, and now here come the Blast the other way.
Pereira, 200 points we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. Just an amazing statistic. He has spent quite a bit of time in this league, 10 seasons. Had the game-winning goal back in the 2017-2018 year to beat the Monterey Flash for an MASL Ron Newman Cup title, and just outstanding talent out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. A lot of great Brazilian players, and there's one right there, Diegues dumping it off to Pereiras. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Both teams locked even at 0-0, and there's a foul on Justin Stinson.
The old two-handed push in the back right at midfield.
They call it a common foul. Nothing common about that. Stinson. And he's going to attract
Swept
and draw
the leg,
foul.
yeah, right in front of the referee. He gets his leg swept. That's Juan Pereira. You just mentioned it. He can take his 200 points with him right into the box. An easy call right in front of our officials. That is tripping.
And where the Baltimore Blast excel is in their penalty kill. Currently sitting at 100%. No team has ever scored this season on the Baltimore Blast in this situation. The power play for the Empire Strykers currently sitting at 29%, with Pereira taking a trip to the penalty box. For those of you who follow hockey, there is a power play, a man advantage for the Empire Strykers. 41 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And of course, this power play will resume in the second quarter if the Strikers do not score.
Yeah, Robert Palmer out there as the 6th attacker. That's why he's got that bright orange kit. It's also got his number on the back, 51. 6 attackers out there here on the power play for Empire Strykers.
Let's see if they can capitalize, at least get one good look at Julian Rodriguez. Stinson in the corner, over to Reyes. Reyes to Fabian. Fabian trying to put the skates on Thomas. Ball is loose, and Fabian is going to draw a foul on Melo. Melo not thrilled about that call at all.
Yeah, the wily veteran Marco Fabian looked like he dragged that back foot just a little. Let's take a look at the replay. Let's see it. Yeah, oh, there you go. Yeah, might have drawn the foul there. That's what you get, veteran leadership like that from Marco Fabian.
Will Reyes dump it into Fabian for a one-timer into the corner, over to find Tony Delatorre, Justin Stinson, or Munir Alami. Into Fabian. Fabian normally likes to one-time it. 10 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Palmer into Alami, who has some space. Into Reyes, 4 seconds. Palmer needs to look up at the clock. Melo gets in the way, and the Strikers cannot successfully convert on a final chance here in the first quarter, but they will resume the power play as we begin the second. A minute 20 there. Folks, it is 0-0 here in Toyota Arena. Empire Strykers taking on the Blast. Back in a moment for the start of the second quarter. Catch MASL Monday, every Monday night on MASL TV and on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bostrovansky and Phil Ivanko are joined each week by special guests from around the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics.
Yeah, MGR Real Estate is Southern California's largest independent family-owned real estate company, providing commercial sales and leasing, residential sales and leasing, property management, and homeowner association management. MGR Real Estate, a proud sponsor of the Empire Strykers.
Been an interesting first quarter thus far. The Baltimore Blast are a team that average around 7 goals per game. The Empire Strykers at 6.3, but neither team finding the back of the net within the first 15 minutes of the game. Will this be a precursor to what's to come? Interesting state of developments. Would have assumed that we would see a goal thus far. But folks, for those of you tuning in for the first time to indoor soccer, you could see some high-scoring games. There will be no ties, and the Strikers do resume the power play here in the second quarter as Robert Palmer, wearing that 6th attacker jersey, lays it into Andy Reyes.
Yeah, 1:12 left in the 2-minute power play for tripping, but as we mentioned before, all Baltimore Blast have done this season is kill off 100% of their penalties.
Only 100%?
That's all they've done.
That's not too shabby.
Can't get better than that.
De La Torre, and that comes off of Mello into Rodriguez, who's going to try to dump it into Jamie Thomas. And we see a goalkeeper change, as the Strikers like to do from quarter to quarter. Brian Orozco got the start. In comes Brandon Gomez. Brandon Gomez quickly going to head to the Pine Pony, which brings back Robert Palmer, looking to utilize that 6th attacker as the Strikers have 34 seconds left on the power play.
Yeah, the Blast with just one shorthanded goal on the season. Of course, that's our old friend Jesus Pacheco with it. They were looking to run quickly out of the break, but here's Robert Palmer, 6th attacker with it.
Great stat there. Patrick Thompson into Jamie Thomas. Empty net. Does not have the trajectory, but had the distance. But that could really kill this penalty. 8 seconds. Fabian's going to have to hustle quick with the man advantage into Alami. Successful penalty kill. Still at 100% are the Blast. Stinson with a shot. That comes off of Thompson. Another attempt. That comes off of the Baltimore Blast. Not been easy for the Strikers to get a clean look. That ball comes out of play. It's going to be
I think that hit Jeff.
Start.
I think that ball hit Jeff.
Jeff Burham, the managing owner of the Empire Strykers, in that position, likes to really get his hands dirty. Very hands-on owner.
Chatting with our referee right there as well. Jeff is always ready, though. He's had that seat for forever, so he knows, just like all these fans here around Toyota Arena, that ball can enter the stands at any time. Head on a swivel.
A lot of great owners in this league. Jeff Burham, one of them, not sitting in his suite. He wants to be as close to the action as possible. Perez into Aguirre. 2 minutes in to this second quarter. Haven't seen the Strikers get a good look as Juan Pereira dumps it in, recovered by Justin Stinson. Stinson out of St. Charles, Missouri, has called Ontario home for quite some time. Stinson, who within his youth career spent some time at the West Ham Youth Academy in England. If you know anything about soccer, in particular the English Premier League, West Ham has created a lot of talented players that have gone on to do some great things. A near pickoff by the Baltimore Blast. Great defending, that's Chad Porch. Chad Porch nearly stripping Emmanuel Aguirre. What great defense by the rookie from Delaware.
Yeah, late foul call there. Number 17, Jamie Thomas, is the one that drew it. He was there with the takeaway. Jamie Thomas having an excellent season so far. 6 goals, 5 assists.
There's a shot. That just misses. Clink clank by Welly, which is his nickname. Porch hangs on to it. Dumps it into Silla. Finds Wellington once again. Welly, as we mentioned, a rookie out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Sao Paulo, one of the biggest cities in the world. Always fascinating to see the journey that a professional athlete has. I mean, going from Sao Paulo to Baltimore by itself is an interesting passport stamp. There's Harold Hansen. Hansen with an attempt, and Harold Hansen somehow finds a way to skirt it in breaking the deadlock. The Strykers go up 1-0. Harold Hansen, originally with the Portland Timbers, finds the back of the net. The Strykers go up 1-0.
Harold Hansen just scored on a pass. You ask him, I am absolutely sure he was looking to feed that across the mouth of the goal, but the angle was everything. Harold Hansen, his 5th goal of the season, puts the Empire Strykers up 1-0, 11:50 to go in the second quarter.
And you saw how his defender literally bounced off of him. Harold Hansen, one of those players that's built out of stone, successfully converts on his 5th goal of the season. I mentioned that Harold Hansen from Portland Timbers, he did feature for the Timbers in the U.S. Open Cup a couple of years ago. Portland Timbers, too, represented the U.S. national team on several youth levels. Another attempt, shot saved by Rodriguez.
Beautiful job to clear it off the boards and out to midfield, but it's Robert Palmer, number 51, the 2-time Defender of the Year, back to control it.
See Quentin Swift passing it in to Brandon Gomez. Strykers will go back and forth between their keepers. It's going to be Orozco and Gomez today. Former goalkeeper of the year, Clayson DeLima, is a scratch. Pass into the corner to Martinez. Martinez, I mentioned sophomore season, got a tryout with the Strykers last year, impressed the coaching staff and has continued to improve. Reyes tried to find Alami, that deflects off the blast. Alami's gonna lay it back to Martinez, who finds Palmer. Palmer into Reyes, Reyes over to Justin Stinson. It's amazing seeing Justin Stinson with what one would call a normal haircut. Normally would be on the All-MASL hair team between the number of haircuts and dye jobs he's had. In fact, I'm quite envious of some of the dues that Justin Stinson has produced in his career in indoor soccer.
Billy, no better first goal scorer tonight, by the way. We mentioned it's Ontario night. Well, the product of Chaffey High School in Ontario, California, Harold Hansen with the goal from Ontario, getting the first goal here Ontario night.
And I know Amanda the Panda, our sideline correspondent, and not my sister, but my wife, did a great interview with the mayor of Ontario. Yeah, somebody asked me one time whether or not Panda was my sister, and if that's the case, then they clearly think I'm a lot prettier than I think I am. But no, folks, Amanda the Panda Filament is my wife. Why do we call her the Panda? Well, simple. It rhymes with Amanda.
And that was a moment with Philly. It's Justin Stinson, number 10, with the ball inside. Strykers still playing their keeper all the way up. But again, this time it's Brandon Gomez, number 0.
There's Alan Perez. Alan Perez, who scored in back-to-back games against the Chihuahua Savage. Perez, who had a slow start to the season, has really picked things up late here. And there's Munir Alami. Alami into Stinson. Stinson with a tough touch, but a magician with his feet on the ball. There's a shot going off of Pereira right into the Strykers bench. And, well, Marco Fabian, if he was a dodgeball player, would have successfully gotten an out there.
I think somebody on your team gets to come back in if you catch the ball as well in dodgeball.
Marco Fabian, the leading scorer for the Empire Strykers, fires it in, and that comes off of Thompson. Boy, did he kick that high into the air, bird's eye level, close to our eye level here in the perch of Toyota Arena, high up in the rafters. To get up here, your nose bleeds.
Might have taken out a basket of fries as well in the stands from what we're seeing on the Jumbotron. It'll be a restart, and it's taken a minute for that ball to get all the way back down into the field of play. That was second deck here at Toyota Arena.
I see the officials laughing. Unlike the game of baseball, that is not a souvenir, folks. You can't walk away with a soccer ball if it goes into the stands.
Yeah, they had to clean the mustard off of that one first, though, and we're back underway with
mustard
Justin
on fries?
Stinson.
You just said it hit fries. Who puts mustard on fries?
I only put mustard on hot dogs.
Well, fair enough. If it had a hot dog, I would understand that, but you said it hit on fries. We just got note that our producer Emery puts mustard on fries. Well, I guess, you know, there's a thin level between genius and insanity, and I guess he's riding the pine on that.
Oh, there we go.
Pass in from Reyes to Fabian. Fabian tries to go into the box. Espinosa, we mentioned him, only in his second game for the Empire Strykers, signed late in the season, late in Chile. Product of Santiago, Chile. Speaking of which, our good friend Rod Diaz, bass player for the band Korn, just had his kid. So congratulations to Rod Diaz.
Congrats
Speaking
to
of
our buddy
Chileans.
Rod, bassist for Korn, and a couple other bands.
Suicidal Tendencies.
Yep.
Dieguez tries to find Jamie Thomas. The pressure applied by Espinosa. A counter. In is Fabian. Fabian is Stinson. Stinson with a shot. Just misses. The ball is loose.
The ball movement there between those three, fantastic. But now look out, Blast on the break.
Villegas with the fancy footwork, but that did not confuse nor rattle Andy Reyes. I love the way Andy Reyes has continued to develop, aging like a fine wine, gets better and better year after year, a veteran of this game. Tony Delatorre in to Randy Martinez. Brandon Gomez well outside of his box, picked up by Sila. Blast still have possession. Thomas out of St. John's. Speaking of which, that basketball team at Jamaica Queens is doing quite well. St. John's also a brilliant soccer team. I remember when I was at Indiana University, they played in the College Cup against St. John's. Pass into Bruno Enrique, 10 goals, 10 assists. We've already highlighted him. An efficient goal scorer taken away by the Strikers. Alan Perez into Tony Delatorre, who puts on the brakes, trying to elude and get by Enrique, picked right back up by Mello. And that gives the Blast an opportunity to create a line change of some sort.
Yeah, high press by Baltimore, forcing the turnover, but I think Wellington just broke his own ankles on that one, but he gets the ball right back off the turnover.
That's how quickly the tides can turn. There's Chad Porch. Chad Porch, who spent some time playing for the Delaware Blue Hens and at High Point University in North Carolina. Beautiful campus. Not sure if you've ever seen that, but High Point, one of the prettier campuses you see in the Northeast.
I have not. I did attend Loyola Marymount University, one of the prettier campuses on the West Coast as well. Look out.
There's an attempt. Tried to get skirted in by Porch, but Brandon Gomez is the denier. Off of the boards. Tried to go Walla. And I'll explain what a Walla and a Scora is, should I see one. Walla off of the Walla, Scora, as you indicated. Good friend Brian Como created that lexicon. And if you want some Walla Scora gear, head on over to Walla Scora. Wellington recovers. Pressure by Abdul Mansour. We haven't seen much of the speedster from London, England in this game. Ball comes in to Silva.
Also got Izzy Cisse out there wearing the number 23 kit as well.
Israel Cisse, longtime member of this franchise, went from high school right to the roster of the LA Galaxy. I love telling this story. It was just the funniest. Shares a locker next to David Beckham, and well,
I've heard of him.
Head on over to the Striking Fury podcast to listen to that interview. Israel Cisse leads this franchise in appearances and in so many statistical categories. Out of Sierra Leone, Israel Cisse, just a fascinating and incredible story.
Yeah, incredible presence there on the bench and in the locker room as well. Some of the stories he must have, but the leadership as well.
Stinson with a shot, saved by Rodriguez. Pacheco and Stinson have a lot of history together. Best friends when they were teammates. Palmer into Reyes. Approaching the 5-minute mark of the second quarter and the first half. Thus far, if you're joining us, the only goal scored this evening, courtesy of Harold Hansen, number 45 for the Empire Strykers. Reyes tries to go in off of the wall. Ball is loose, recovered by Julian Rodriguez. Second year in the MASL out of Queens, New York. Just love saying that.
You'll try to find a fiddle. You'll try to find a
fiddle.
way.
I'll try to find a fiddle
to fit Queens, New York into just about any part of this broadcast. We've heard it several times.
It's not. And there's a ball that goes right into our public address announcer, John Spire. And we finally have ourselves a dead ball, which means that we're going to head into immediate timeout, folks. 4 minutes and 28 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The Empire Strykers currently up on the Baltimore Blast by a score of 1-0. Back in a moment with the remainder of this half.
The wait is over. The 2025 MASL season is here. Bigger and better than ever. Get ready for high-speed action, jaw-dropping goals, and fierce competition as your favorite teams battle it out on the field. With intense rivalries, unforgettable moments, and new stars rising, the MASL delivers excitement every week. Get your tickets now and be part of the excitement, because this season, the action is non-stop.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast delivers stories of inspiring individuals like the Strikers, Marco Fabian, Momo, and their remarkable personal journeys.
Because you're going to see people from all parts of life. They're us, everyday people facing everyday obstacles, and how they overcome them is a blueprint for all of us to learn from.
If you want to be inspired, subscribe to the FYI podcast.
Indoor soccer fans, it's time to unleash a giant leap for fandom. Introducing MASL Indoor Soccer Fantasy Football. Build your dream team, invite your friends, and create your own draft league, all for free. Draft and trade players and win bragging rights as your team dominates the league. With MASLI Football, you're not just a fan, you're part of the action. Go to MASLI Football to sign up, get started, and play.
We would like to thank our official hotel sponsor, Ontario Airport Hotel, conveniently located just 2 miles from the Ontario International Airport and 4 miles from the Ontario Convention Center, the Ontario Airport Hotel.
Not sure where that read is in a hop, skip, and a jump from Toyota Arena. That's where we'll be hanging out at the conclusion of today's game. Ontario Airport Hotel is where the party's going to be later today, Scarf.
I'm ready.
And speaking of parties, it's been all Empire Strykers thus far. 11 shots to the Baltimore Blast's 2. Impressive, considering the offensive firepower that the Blast have. We said it once, we'll say it again. This is a team that averages 7 goals per game, but the Empire Strykers have done a good job from keeping them from getting any looks on either of the Strikers' keepers.
Marco Fabian playing a little keepy-uppy there before he gets it over to Justin Stinson. Philly, how much fun was it to see that new triumvirate there with Pantera Espinoza, Justin Stinson, and Marco Fabian? They looked good, all 3 of those guys playing together. Almost got a goal off of it there a few minutes ago.
I'm just really intrigued by the fact that there's a term called keepsy-upsies. That's the first I've heard of that.
You never played keepy-uppy? I mean, I'm terrible at it.
Oh, it's keepy-uppy now.
Yeah, keepy-uppy.
It seems to have morphed into a different terminology.
Oh, my goodness. I said keepy-uppy.
I just like messing with you. It's a lot of fun. And there's a foul down on the turf as Sila hits the deck. 3 minutes and 44 seconds remaining here in the half. The only goal scored 3 minutes and 11 seconds into the second quarter. It was courtesy of Harold Hansen. Harold Hansen successfully finds the back of the net for the 5th time this season. We're seeing the Baltimore Blast now trying to employ some of that Empire Striker strategy as Julian Rodriguez advances it into the corner. And Brandon Gomez, number 0, is going to settle on it, enabling the Strikers to reset things. Israel Cisse in the Palmer. Palmer back over to Cisse. Tries to go off of the board. He successfully does. The pass into the right. Martinez has it. Martinez facing pressure from Guevara. The pass in from Reyes to Palmer. Strikers looking to go into their target forward. Espinosa, Silla with the defense, denying the Chilean Espinosa.
Excellent defending there by Omar Silla, number 2 for Baltimore.
Back into the corner, it goes. Martinez. Aguirre over to Andy Reyes. These are 2 players that have formed a lot of chemistry together playing down in Texas for the Outlaws. Speaking of Texas, they had a tremendous win against the Milwaukee Wave recently. Starting to pick up on the W's. Big shout out to Texas Outlaws head coach Eddie Puskarich for getting the wins. Opportunity for the Strikers here as that ball is loose. Scrum into the box, poked away. And that was a close call.
I mean, incredible footwork there. That was Pantera once again.
De La Torre gets tripped up in the box, no call.
Yeah, it might have been a soft takedown there as De La Torre got up with no complaint whatsoever.
You just see how efficiently the Baltimore Blast spread the ball around. This is a team that's got great chemistry. Fantastic defense by Alan Perez as that goes out of play. Minute 51 remaining here in the half. Line change for both sides. Jesus Pacheco, Sweet Pea out of Northridge, California, goes into Pereira. Pereira wearing that Captain's Coalition armband. We talked about it during our hit. At the end of today's game, the team's going to sign that and get it auctioned off. The auction's going to end on February the 28th. Event.give/MASL. We'll talk a little bit about that. Pass in to Cisse. Cisse finds space, shot just above the crossbar. Olami.
Cisse, the veteran there, breaking out the moves. That one just high off the glass. What an effort there by Izzy Cisse.
We would have lost our minds. We've known Israel Cisse for years, going back to his time playing for the LA Galaxy. Fabian into Perez. Perez to Aguirre. We're coming on 63 seconds remaining in the half. Can the Strykers get one more goal? Robert Palmer wearing that 6th attacker jersey. This would be a great time for the Blast to create an equalizer and create a tie going into halftime.
Don't put that out there into the ether. Empire have played fantastic defense so far. Turnabout is fair play. It was Baltimore the second stingiest in the league, but Empire beating them at their own game thus far.
Perez across in to the attacking third. Back over to Perez. Perez to Fabian. Fabian will wind from that position. Into Palmer. Tries to lay it back over to Marco. Marco to Stinson. Stinson back over to Fabian. Fabian back over to Stinson. 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Strykers trying to gain some look, but the Blast, a brilliant blockade. An opportunity. Wow, just above the crossbar into the netting. That should be a goalkeeper restart, and potentially with the Blast maintaining the final possession. 14.7 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was Emmanuel Aguirre firing it high and wide. That'll give the ball back to Baltimore.
And there's Aguirre playing that stellar defense, trying to deny Enrique.
9 seconds remaining here on the restart.
Drop ball, Blast recover. Or Blast maintain, I should say. It'll either be Patrick Thompson. Patrick Thompson, we mentioned, he went to the All-Star game in Utica, along with Mello, Pereira, and Zierhofer. Shot by Pacheco, broken up by Aguirre. 4 seconds remaining in the half. That ball comes out of play, 2.1 seconds remaining. And it's gonna take practically a Herculean or miraculous effort for the Blast to create an equalizer, but we've seen crazier things in this beautiful game of indoor soccer. It's going to be Juan Pereira on the restart. Will he try to dump it into the box to connect with his teammates? Look for him to try to find Bruno Enrique. Folks, we are going to head into a break, but before we do, at the conclusion of this half, we're going to send it to our sideline correspondent, Amanda the Panda. She's going to get Empire Strykers head coach Anu Obasi's thoughts, but still 2 seconds. Clanks in, pawed away by Gomez, and that's the end of the first half, folks. The Empire Strykers go into the locker room by a score of 1-0. Again, only goals scored thus far. 3 minutes and 11 seconds into the second quarter, courtesy of Harold Hansen. And we're going to get head coach Anu Obasi's thoughts. It's got to be interesting for Obasi, as he once played for this Blast team, won a championship with them, knows a lot of the players on this team, as he won a chip with several of them. I'd love to know what his thoughts are thus far.
I'll tell you what his thoughts are. Score more goals in the team that he used to play for. He's the coach of the Empire Strykers now. It's got to be all about defeating the opponent in front of you. It doesn't matter your history. It matters about now. And so far, Strykers up 1-0 at the half.
And we're seeing Panda run through. I'm not sure if... Oh, no. Anu Obasi's just clearing the bench. Just had a quick conversation with his assistant coach, Chuy Molina. Chuy Molina, who's had some success, been a part of this organization for a while. Head coach Obasi's going to have a conversation with Amanda. Anu Obasi, the $1 million man, not because he was a professional wrestler, but we'll talk more about that later. We're going to send it on to sideline correspondent Amanda the Panda filling in as she's standing by with Anu Obasi to get his thoughts on the first half. Take it away, Amanda the Panda.
Hey guys, I'm here with head coach Anu Obasi. Now you guys are going into the half up a goal on a team that has only lost twice this season. How are you feeling about how they're playing so far?
Yeah, you know, we had a long time to prepare for the game, so you know, we should have gone in with a strong game plan, and we did. And I think it's worked. Obviously, it's a 1-goal game, so you know the game's still even right now. In reality, yeah, some of the things we tried to do are working. I think we could still areas that we're not so happy about, but you know, we're 1-0 up and we have momentum, so we have got to keep that going.
You guys are definitely out shooting them. I think the last time I checked it was 12-2 as far as shots were. Against a stifling defense, they've allowed the second fewest goals on the season. So how do we fix that last final piece and get some goals and win this game?
Yeah, they've been really good, and they play in a small arena at home, so keep that little goals going in is really impressive. But their goalie's made a few great saves. So we've had chances. In a normal game, I think we probably scored 2 or 3 at least, but this is indoor. we have to keep being consistent with what we do, because they had a couple chances. If they score one of them, it's 1-1 right now, and it's a different conversation. So, yeah, we just got to keep being consistent, improve a few little areas offensively, and I think we'll be good.
No doubt. Can't wait to see how the second half goes. Thank you. Back to you guys.
12-3 in terms of shots. Favor of the Empire Strykers, and as Noah Bossy mentioned, Julian Rodriguez, the goalkeeper for the Baltimore Blast, having a stellar half. It's Sunday Fun Day, folks. President's Day weekend. It's time for us to stretch, time for you to stretch. Head on over to the fridge, have yourself a cool beverage, and we'll be back for the start of the second half.
With 6 calls, runway 26 right, clear to land.
The wait is over. The 2025 MASL season is here. Bigger and better than ever. Get ready for high-speed action, jaw-dropping goals, and fierce competition as your favorite teams battle it out on the field. With intense rivalries, unforgettable moments, and new stars rising, the MASL delivers excitement every week. Get your tickets now and be part of the excitement, because this season, the action is non-stop.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast delivers stories of inspiring individuals like the Strykers, Marco Fabian, Momo, and their remarkable personal journeys.
Because you're going to see people from all parts of life. They're us, everyday people facing everyday obstacles, and how they overcome them is a blueprint for all of us to learn from.
If you want to be inspired, subscribe to the FYI podcast.
Hey guys, it is the City of Ontario night here in Toyota Arena, and I am joined by the mayor himself, Paul Leon. Paul, welcome to Toyota Arena. So glad to have you here.
I am happy to be in the house that Ontario built.
Absolutely. Look,
Whose
Ontario's house.
Ontario's house.
You're right, though. This is where the Strykers really, really originated. This is where these beautiful games are played in Ontario. Talk to me a little bit about the partnership and why it's so important to the City of Ontario.
Well, we're a full-service city. I mean, we have everything. We have a professional sports and entertainment arena. We have an international airport. We have the biggest convention center in the entire region. We have everything here. And what we really love are our professional sports teams.
Absolutely, and we have one of the best here in the IE with the Empire Strykers.
Yeah.
How important has it been to have them here and in your community and you guys working together?
Well, it's, for me, I love it because it gives us a quick access to professional players who help our kids, like what you saw happening here before we're doing all of this. And then they come out into the community. The thing I like about the Strykers is that they don't just play and win championships here. They go out into the community and they interact with the children at the schools, on the playground, at the AYSO, all of those things. And I just cannot thank the Strykers enough for being a part of our community and making us a success, and making it a success for everybody.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Paul, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your partnership and helping the Strykers be such an important part of the community.
Okay, well, thank you all, and let's go Strykers. We're going to win today.
Do it. Hi guys, it's Amanda the Panda bringing you another interview from inside the vault, and today I'm joined by Randy Martinez. Randy, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so you have such an incredible story, very inspirational, so kind of want to get to know you a little better. So first, let's just start out with how your career started as far as playing, in high school, college, up until what brought you here to the Empire Strykers.
So, yeah, just like you said, did high school, did college, did a lot of like Sunday league, a lot of tournaments, and actually met Seth in college, and he told me to come out for tryouts, and I came out, and now I'm here. Luckily, I made it.
You definitely did. And they always say in life, if you want something bad enough, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse.
Right.
And you're not about excuses at all. You impressed them so much during that game, but you were a little hesitant to actually come to indoor. Can you explain that just a little bit?
Yeah, so I mean, indoor is very different to outdoor. I was very, very hesitant to come, just so many different rules. It's indoor to begin with, and a lot fast paced, quick subbing. Yeah, it's just like you're going to your first job. You're very, very hesitant to start, but once you go through with it and you're in it, then you start feeling more comfortable, and it starts helping out.
I mean, talk about feeling comfortable. This is your second year in the league, and you've gone from a tryout last year, making the team, to starting games now. You've already eclipsed your points from last season with less games under your belt. So tell me how you feel now that you've actually played the game and you're in it. What are your thoughts on the indoor game?
Yeah, so I mean, playing regularly, training with such good guys, regular guys that vets been in the league, you learn a lot. And yeah, you kind of just try and learn as much as you can from our coaches and do what you can at your best capabilities, and try to do what coach asks for, and you just kind of learn that way and see trial and error. Like if something goes bad, you know not to do it anymore. And yeah, so
it's a great lesson in life. And one thing I've definitely heard is you're just such a workhorse out there. Like you said, you show up, you do the job. Now I want to pivot just a little bit. Tonight is Hometown Heroes Night. This is where we honor those in the community that are there for us, teachers, police officers, veterans. And talk to us a little bit about some future aspirations of yours.
So I went to school for criminal justice, and I got my bachelor's in criminal justice. And I recently had a work day with a CSI agent, and got to do a little bit, what a CSI agent does and learn what they do, work day of theirs. And yeah, it was cool. It was very interesting. That's something I'm looking into possibly doing. So yeah, cool. That was nice.
I love that. Very much a true crime fan myself.
Right.
I'm also a gunner, which I know you are as well. So we have a lot in common. We could talk for probably hours about that. Yeah. But either way, I'm so happy you were able to sit down with us today and tell us a little about yourself.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back, utilizing their professional power to touch and inspire people in their local communities nationwide. Free soccer clinics, where kids can meet their heroes and learn new skills. After-school programs and special events. And surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
What's up guys, my name is Ricky Ortiz. I'm a 25-year-old YouTuber with muscular dystrophy. I make videos about my life, me trying new things to get me out of my comfort zone. Today, I had the chance to join the Empire Strykers, thanks to the MASL and National Course Finding Your Inspiration podcast. From stepping onto the field to signing a one-day contract and receiving my jersey. This experience means the world to me. Today is definitely a day I'll never forget.
Shoot! He scores!
Welcome back, everyone. This is MASL in 5. I'm Alex Bastiavansky. It is great to see you again. Thanks so much for watching. Sit back, relax. 5 minutes is all I need to get you caught up on all that's gone down in the league over the past week.
Brian Miller, a multi-sport official, quite talented baseball umpire, as I understand it. And right off the jump, a goal. And guess who? It's Kelvin Oliveira.
The MASL All-Star Game went down Wednesday night in Utica, New York. Team Kelvin Oliveira taking on Team Nick Pereira. The league's brightest stars all under one roof. Yes, Marco Fabian was there as well. And of course, UCFC's own Kelvin, who, as you saw in the first clip, opened the scoring just a few seconds in. The crowd at the Adirondack Bank Center was treated to a fabulous night. Alex Sanchez of the Milwaukee Wave made it 2-zip Team Kelvin a few minutes later. Of course, no chance Nick Pereira was going to be left off the score sheet in this contest, though. He drew his side to within 1 goal 5 minutes later. But on this night, like so many others this season, it once again belonged to the Brazilian maestro, Kelvin.
It is 2-1 Team Kelvin. Kelvin in the attacking third, from his left to his right, and he scores a banger. 3-1 Team Kelvin, he's got 2.
Oliveira with 3 goals plus a helper. He was the game's MVP as Team Kelvin took down Team Nick Pereira 7-3. And before the All-Star Game, the skills competition went down, featuring all kinds of fun stuff, including a goalkeeper battle, a relay race, shootout, a crossbar challenge. Mario Alvarez hit the winning crossbar for Team Kelvin as they emerged victorious in the skills competition. What a great celebration of the indoor game it was in Utica. A few games from last weekend to tell you about. San Diego and Kansas City. The Sockers came into this one on a 10-game win streak. That streak is no more as the Comets emerged victorious 9-6. The next night, a dangerous St. Louis team that's battling for a playoff spot gave the Sockers all they could handle, pushing them to overtime before Sebastian Mendez killed their upset hopes with the golden goal to win it 6-5. And Baltimore was visiting Utica. We were all set for a back and forth clash. That never panned out. UCFC opened a lot of eyes by spanking the Blast 8-3. Baltimore had been riding a 9-game winning streak. Milton de Andrade was the game's first star with 2 goals plus a helper. Your players of the week, your goalkeeper, Andrew Coughlin, defensive player, Guerrero Pino, and offensively, he is a regular on this list now, Kelvin Oliveira. We're going to start with him. Once again, a spectacular week for Kelvin. 7 points, 5 goals, 2 assists for the Brazilian magician in 2 UCFC wins. Defensively, Pino from the Kansas City Comets. He had 7 huge blocks in that big Comets victory over the San Diego Sockers. And in goal, Andrew Coughlin, absolutely solid for the Blues in 2 wins, picking up 20 saves and adding 2 assists as well. Your plays of the week now.
The pass, looks forward. Kelvin Oliveira all alone. Oliveira, saved by Rodriguez.
His second of the night.
Really? Although miscommunication right now, the Stars only have 5 on the field. It doesn't matter because Matt Brame has found the back of the net.
Down. What a goal, Charlie Gonzalez.
SK gets through. Chile! Hard challenge from O'Keefe. Oliveira has to just give it up.
Andrade outside the line. Top shelf from De Andrade.
He's played anywhere he can get a chance to play, he can play, and he's that good. Zach Reagan.
Zach Reagan!
Just missed him, and now Welly Gramusi goes the other way. Now De Andrade turns the other way. His shot rifled into net. Milton De Andrade.
A little help from Gontan. Costa to Mendez. Mendez, left foot, he scores. San Diego. They'll get 2 points tonight. Mendez.
And that is a wrap for this week's show. But just a reminder that all throughout the season, you can stay up to date on everything that's going on in the MASL by checking out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching. See you next week.
MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. There we see the only goal of the game scored by Harold Hansen to put the Empire Strykers up by 1-0. 3 minutes and 11 seconds into the second quarter. Our only goal thus far, and we are live once again underway here for the start of the third quarter. Christian Filliman and J.R. Liebert on the call with you tonight.
The pride of Ontario, California, Harold Hansen went to high school here in Ontario, scoring on Ontario night here at Toyota Arena. 1-0. Philly, a little bit of a surprise that it's been the defensive struggle that it has been so far.
Considering that the Blast average around 7 goals per game and the Strikers 6.3, it's been a low-scoring affair, but credit the defense of Empire. 12 shots they've had to 3 of Baltimore's. Another goalkeeper change for the Strikers. Brian Orozco in between the pipes, replacing Brandon Gomez, who started the second quarter. The Strikers will look to utilize several keepers with their system to not tire their goaltenders out.
Yeah, they'll play them all the way up past the midfield stripe. It'll happen once they get the ball on offense. For the Baltimore Blast, it's Julian Rodriguez back in goal, giving up an average of 4.22 goals per game. He's only given up one so far, but unfortunately, no help from his friends.
No help at all. I mean, Julian Rodriguez getting peppered like a steak in the first half, but has done a real good job. A chip through from Chad Porch does not get Brian Orozco, and Porch, the leading scorer of the Baltimore Blast, nearly threaded one through.
Beautiful pass and a nice little cheeky chip there by Porch. But on top of things there was Brian Orozco, number 1.
Porch with 13 goals on the season. And Orozco lets it in to the midfield. Sila over to Pacheco. Sila's going to face some pressure from Israel Cisse. Ball comes in at Jamie Thomas. Thomas out of Maryland. Pacheco trying to get by Harold Hansen, and Pacheco is laid out. Harold Hansen is a big-bodied player. While he is a professional indoor soccer player, Harold Hansen's the type of athlete that could have succeeded in the game of American football.
No, absolutely, and Jesus Pacheco, our old friend there, not the biggest of players out there, so he felt that going into the boards there by Hansen.
Porch muscled by Abdul Mansoure. Ball comes towards that midfield as Sila lays it in to Julian Rodriguez. Rodriguez, an impressive performance in the first half. Lays it into Pereira. Pereira wearing the captain's armband finds Enrique. Enrique does not fool Robert Palmer. Great defense by the 2-time defender of the year. Very tough to get by Robert Palmer. Might as well say it, he's addicted to defense.
Look, it hasn't been the best defensive year so far for the Empire Strykers, giving up the 4th most goals in the league at 96, but they have certainly done their job, and it has been led by the defensive effort at number 51, Robert Palmer.
And a lot of that, a brilliant pass into Wellington. Wellington does not have the numbers, tries to get by De La Torre. De La Torre with the defense. Wellington still hangs on to it. Ball comes up loose, and Orozco is going to collapse on it.
Man, are we lucky that number 77, Wellington Bramuse, overran that initial pass. He was off to the races all alone, but the defending again by the Strykers up to the task.
Welly, as his nickname indicates, 12 games played, 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points.
Takeaway here from Marco.
Thompson playing the stellar lockdown defense, using the back heel to get by Fabian into Pereira. And then Thompson, a veteran, dumps it into Wellington. Great ball movement once again by the Blast. Such an efficient team with spreading out the defense. This is a team that has a lot of chemistry, a lot of long-time indoor players, but even the rookies and the second-year players, they look like they've been in this league for a long time. Aguirre kicks it out of danger. Perez heads it into Alami. Alami, and another stellar defensive play by Thomas. Strykers have just not gotten any really good looks in their attacking third, and Baltimore Blast has just been stifling. Taken away by Hansen. Hansen has an opportunity, but another great save by Rodriguez denies Hansen on what could have been his 2nd goal of the game.
I would have tried to chip there, but then again, I'm not an indoor soccer player, so I would have missed terribly. But Harold Hansen, number 45, all alone, 1v1 with Julian Rodriguez, and it's Rodriguez up to the task.
Up to the task indeed, and there's Hansen once again. When he gets running, he's just like a locomotive trying to puncture his way through defenders. There he is. There's an attempt. Clink, clank, ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling off the post.
Harold Hansen has been a nightmare so far for Baltimore. He's got the only goal, looking for an assist there. We have seen an excellent offensive effort from number 45, Harold Hansen, today.
Harold Hansen, who spent some time playing in the M2, the 2nd team for the Empire Strykers, a team called the Empire Jets. And he's worked so incredibly hard to gain significant minutes here playing for the 1st team. And, well, he's impressing this coaching staff as he has the only goal of the game thus far.
Yep. All you need to do is win by 1. Harold Hansen's got the only one here on Ontario night. Again, the pride of Ontario, California.
Great header from Espinosa into Martinez. Martinez tries to go back to the Chilean. He gets cleaned out.
Excellent defending there by Mateo Silva, but Empire still with it. Ball pounced upon by Julian Rodriguez, and he'll look to send it back across the midfield stripe.
Great awareness. And I'll mention something in just a second as Thompson strips De La Torre. Rodriguez just had the wherewithal to keep it in the box. If he got his hand on the ball outside of the box, that would have been a devastating scenario for the Baltimore Blast, as the Empire Strykers would have had an opportunity to go 1v1 with the keeper. But Rodriguez has been very impressive here in this game.
Yeah, just about 9 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Still 1-0 Empire. Empire in the black and white jerseys with Baltimore in the all-white kits.
Pass into Enrique. Enrique looking to pad those stats. 10 goals, 10 assists. Great pass into Thomas. Thomas gets the ball taken away by Reyes. Reyes into Aguirre. Two players who spent time together. A nice chip pass into Alami, but Patrick Thompson closes in on Alami, who dumps it into Fabian. Fabian's shot off of the mark. Another attempt. That just goes wide by Tony Della Torre. That was so close into Alami. Alami with the turnaround. Pacheco with the denial.
Iron unkind for the Strikers. That one may have caught some of the post, and look out. That one almost catches a couple of fans in row 2 as it's played up and out off a deflection. And look at the replay here. Here comes Della Torre. Yep, off the inside of the post. Iron unkind for number 47, Della Torre.
Opportunity, and not to be denied is Brian Orozco denying
that was
Wellington.
a groin pull for either one of us, by the way. Great save by Brian Orozco, number 1. He has been on fire here in the third quarter.
That's why I paused, because I felt my groin tear. Chad Porch in the Mello. Mello, the midfielder extraordinaire, into Orozco. Orozco makes the save, picked right back up by Mansoure. Mansoure went to college at Wilmington, Delaware, played soccer and ran track. Gets by Wellington. There's an attempt off of the mark.
Well wide, good positioning there by Julian Rodriguez. And now it's Robert Palmer with it in the circle.
Strikers are getting closer. Martinez, who I know if you checked in at halftime, had a great interview with Amanda the Panda Filament. Stinson decides to retreat and goes back to Martinez. About halfway through this third quarter.
And yes, that is Justin Stinson in the number 10 kit. No pink, no purple, no blonde. That's the natural hair color of one number 10, Justin Stinson.
No mohawk, no faux hawk, just a shaved head. As Alan Perez gets knocked down by Dieguez.
Taken down from behind. The restart over to the opposite side where Stinson has it.
Stinson shot into the net. It's going to be a goalkeeper restart and a media timeout.
Join the Hope Through Housing Foundation in empowering children and families in the Inland Empire and beyond through after-school programs and financial coaching. To learn more and see how Hope is making a difference, visit hopethroughhousing.org.
Indoor soccer fans, it's time to unleash a giant leap for fandom. Introducing MASL Indoor Soccer Fantasy Football. Build your dream team, invite your friends, and create your own draft league, all for free. Draft and trade players and win bragging rights as your team dominates the league. With MASL iFootball, you're not just a fan, you're part of the action. Go to MASL iFootball to sign up, get started, and play.
With 6 calls, throwing to 6 break, clear.
Couple of quick scores around the league. The Kansas City Comets defeat the St. Louis Ambush by a score of 8-5. They are underway over at Front Wave as the Sockers host the defending champion Chihuahua Savage. And it is in the first quarter as Harrisburg visits the Tacoma Stars. Speaking of Harrisburg, there is a connection here on the turf for the Baltimore Blast. The head coach of the Blast, Dave Bascombe, has his jersey retired by the Harrisburg Heat. Spent a lot of time within that organization, even played professionally with Christian Pulisic's father. So David Bascombe's had himself an interesting career as a player and as a coach, JR.
Ball headed into the stands there by Abdul Mansoureh. We'll get a restart as that lucky fan in row 4 got to catch the ball while holding a soft drink.
Soft drink, hot dogs, fries, all this conversation's getting me thirsty and hungry. Top of the arc restart for the Blast. This is going to be a dangerous position for the Empire Strykers. As Melo at the helm, he's got Pacheco to the right of him, Pereira to the left of him, Dieguez in the box, and I believe that is Chad Porch. And Melo is going to call for a timeout. 6 minutes and 36 seconds remaining. The last factoid I want to dictate about Dave Bascom, I think this is one of the more interesting things you will hear.
Yeah.
Appointed a member of the Order of the British Empire in 2003 for services to the sport and young people in Bermuda. You want to talk about a fabulous career as a coach and an indoor player? How many people do we know professionally that are members of the Order of the British Empire?
Yeah, you get to sign your name with that as an OBE or MBE right after it. Pretty cool. That stays with you for the rest of your life. Philly, it's Daytona 500 Day. Did you know, since it's Ontario night here in beautiful Ontario, California, we used to be home of the Ontario Motor Speedway. Al and Bobby Unser, AJ Foyt winning races, and an F1 race was held out here, Philly, won by one Mario Andretti, and the California Jam and California Jam 2 both held at that speedway. Earth, Wind & Fire, Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, Aerosmith, Santana, Foreigner Heart, Stevie Nicks, Mick Fleetwood. That is a lineup of a concert I wish I could have gone to.
I mean, you just basically told me what my playlist currently is on my iPhone and my top 25 most played. A thought I wanted to finish. Ontario, California, Ontario, Canada. There is a connection, but I still don't have the time to dictate that. We'll talk more about that. It is City of Ontario night here. Top of the arc restart for the Baltimore Blast. Melo has some very talented options to go for. We see an Empire blockade in the center. Can the Baltimore Blast create the equalizer? Again, a team that averages 7 goals per game. Melo in the Pereira shot off of the wall, just missed, and a clearance by Abdul Mansoureh.
Yeah, that one not defended well initially on that first pass. Lucky for the Strikers, they were not able to get a shot on target. It's Brian Orozco in goal, number 1 for the Empire.
Pass into the corner, trying to find Dieguez. Palmer closes in on it. Robert Palmer showing us once again why he is one of the best defenders in this game. Picked right back up by Mansoureh, who connects with Cisse. Cisse gets tripped up by his former teammate Pacheco, but the officials do not blow their whistle. We still play on. Less than 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Pacheco connects with Pereira, who's trying to find Dieguez, but headed out of danger by Palmer.
Yeah, I think Izzy Cisse got bit by the turf monster there, and now he gets bit by the foul bug, as they call it, and it'll be going the other way this time for Baltimore with the foul suffered by our old friend number 8, Jesus Pacheco.
Turf monster and foul bug, all kinds of influenzas going on here at the Bright Lights at Toyota Arena. Orozco rolls it in to Reyes. Starting to see some of that high pressure by the Baltimore Blast. Enrique tried to thwart Palmer, but he finds Orozco, who's got room and space to run. He fires it in. That comes off of his teammates. I believe that was off of Espinosa. Between him and Aguirre, they both like to hike their shorts up, so sometimes it's a little confusing.
I think Aguirre just does the 1, right? So Espinosa has 2. Espinosa, it's a little hard to see. His number a little darker on the back of his jersey, number 9. He's also just playing in his second game for the Strikers.
Pass in Reyes. Shot. Upper right corner. We welcome back my Uncle Franz. He keeps his schnapps in that upper right. Andy Reyes finds it. Strikers go up by a score of 2-0.
Andy Reyes, normally in the giving mood, leading the club with 10 assists, but this time he gets out on the other end of it for his 4th goal of the season, putting the Empire Strykers up with 5 minutes and 5 seconds left to play here in the third. The lead has been doubled 2-0 here at Toyota Arena.
Great goal by Reyes, a defender by trade who's finding assist after assist this season, but he's finding the back of the net. Scored 9 goals last year for the Texas Outlaws, which was a career high. He now has 14 points. He is 2 points shy of tying his career high in the MASL.
Andy Reyes no longer tied for the lead in assists as Marco Fabian assists that one for number 11 on the season. But they're taking a look at something as Julian Rodriguez ran right over to our officials, and now they're in a conversation. Our buddy John Spire, PA announcer, gets to hear all the juicy details.
Yeah, we're just waiting for some clarification as to what they are looking at. You could see the nonverbal communication. Quentin Swift not happy. Melo wasn't particularly thrilled, and there's a conversation between Hansen and Rodriguez.
Oh, maybe an object was thrown on the field is what we're hearing.
An object? Oh, I did not catch that.
No.
And that's not something that we've heard quite a bit of here in Toyota Arena. But either way, it looks like the goal still stands. It's going to be midfield restart as Wellington sets to put the ball in play. 5 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, goal stands. We're up 2-0 here, under 5 minutes to go. And again, a team that had come in giving up 96 goals on the season, still holding Baltimore Blast off the score sheet, up 2-0. It's been an incredible defensive performance for the Empire Strykers.
As we know, whether it be indoor or outdoor, a 2-goal lead is not necessarily a lead, but yes, it is a lead.
You know me, I absolutely hate that phrase.
No, I hate it too, but look, if you've been involved in this game, you know that a 7-2 scoring line going into the fourth quarter is not enough to come out victorious.
Yeah,
a lot of crazy things can happen in indoor, and that's why we love it so much. So many high-scoring games. This is not an example of one of them, but what a beautiful defensive effort by both teams.
Look, 180 goals scored between these two clubs on the season. Just 2 on the day.
Tony Della Torre is going to draw a foul on Pereira. Pereira had already spent some time in the penalty box in that first half. We see a dasher board go down. I believe it is the Striking Fury in Soccer in 60 part of the dasher board. A shameless plug for the Empire Strykers podcast. I have no problem shamelessly plugging myself there. 4 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Andy Reyes successfully puts the Empire up by 2 goals.
Marco Fabian discussing what to do on offense right now as we wait for the restart. Marco Fabian, again, another excellent season, now up to 30 points after that assist, 19 goals, 11 assists for the former superstar of El Tri.
Former, I mean, I think he still is a superstar. An Olympic gold medalist going back to the 2012 London Games. Won a Pokal in the Bundesliga with Eintracht Frankfurt. Spent some time with the Philadelphia Union in Major League Soccer. What a strip. And in a goal attempt, and it goes, and it converts. Defense wins games, and that is one heck of a defensive performance. Jamie Thomas strips the Strykers, and all of a sudden breaks the goose egg of the Baltimore Blast. JR the Scarf, the professor, draw that one up on your clipboard for us, brother.
Draw it up. It was just a larceny in the middle of Toyota Arena. Somebody call the authorities. Jamie Thomas absolutely picking the pocket of number 20, Alan Perez. Nothing our keeper, Brian Orozco, could do about that because he was halfway up the pitch. Oh, my goodness, what a goal. And look out. Baltimore now smelling blood in the water. The high press after being in a low block for most of the first 3 quarters.
I mean, you saw right then and there, Bruno Henrique had some space and a clear look at goal. That's just how quickly the tides can turn in indoor. And while the Baltimore Blast didn't find the goal for quite some time in this game, Jamie Thomas, with that tremendous defensive effort, draws blood, and that's going to come off of Fabian into the crowd. It's going to be a drop ball restart for the Blast.
Jamie Thomas up to 7 goals to go with his 5 assists on the season. Number 17, that one very clearly as unassisted as it gets. That's going to be one that Coach Obasi is going to want to look at after this match.
That's an opportunity that Alan Perez is going to like to get back, as he was the victim of that grand larceny that you indicated moments ago. Pereira with Swift in front of him, finds Porch. Porch with Mansoret goes back over to Melo. Melo finds Henrique. Palmer is going to close in on Henrique. 3 minutes and 3 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Henrique still hangs on to it. Fancy footwork. Taken away, poked away, I should say, by Quentin Swift. Swift out of Hartford, Connecticut, played collegiately at Hartford University. Pass into Welly. Welly into Sila, To the right to Pereira, 2:40 remaining. And you could just see it and practically feel it, even up to our perch. The Baltimore Blast have new life after that defensive performance by Thomas.
Yeah, playing with a little bit of extra energy in their step for sure. Although it's up to the Empire, and they've done a wonderful job of now settling the ball back down. Jesus Pacheco at the top, plays it into the corner.
Opportunity, shot saved by Orozco. Ball is loose.
And again, the tough one there is that goes as a goal against Brian Orozco, but nowhere near the net, as that one just an incredible singular defensive effort by number 17, Jamie Thomas.
Less than 120 seconds here in this third quarter. The pass finds its way into Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the keeper for the Blast, going into the corner, has a little too much tapatio on that footwork, trying to find Dieguez. That is out of play. It's going to be a restart for the Strykers. A minute 50 here left in this third quarter.
1:50 to go as the ball will go back to Brian Orozco. And he'll throw it the length of the pitch.
Martinez, great touch into Aguirre. Emmanuel Aguirre back over to Martinez. Martinez finds Aguirre, fantastic pass, and he goes down. Writhing is Aguirre.
That's Jamie Thomas who took him out there, the goal scorer, taking out his opposite number counterpart in Emmanuel Aguirre. They both wear 17.
Let's take a look at that replay again. Martinez threads it through nicely into Aguirre. And Thomas, you see it right there. Shin catching the feet of Emmanuel Aguirre, but Aguirre out of Guadalajara, Mexico, as tough as it comes in this game.
We have a challenge flag. Challenge flag thrown by the Empire Strykers bench.
And with the challenge flag, that's going to give the officials an opportunity to review it, possibly to look at a bigger foul, possibly even a blue card, which would put the Strykers in a man advantage. If the challenge flag is awarded, the Empire gets to retain their challenge flag. If for whatever reason the officials feel that it wasn't enough and they happen to deny the challenge flag, Empire is without one for the remainder of the game.
And here's the real question. Do you want to be on the power play against the Baltimore Blast? All they've done is kill off 100%. This is the 17th match for the Empire Strykers. All they've done, this is the 13th match for Baltimore, is kill off every single power play. I'm not so sure I want to be on the man advantage. Empire's been able to score 2 goals straight up.
But if you take a look at this replay, right, again, there's no challenge. Very, very close. Well, it's not up to us. You and I are not officials. We are up here in the bird's nest.
Yeah, Thomas, though, going down into a dangerous position there right at midfield. It doesn't look like he gets any of the ball.
And the challenge flag is not awarded. And so the call stands the way it was. And so the Empire burns themselves a challenge flag.
Yeah, not a bad challenge there by Coach Obasi, but maybe not enough to the foul. And unfortunately, that'll be it for challenges in today's match for the Empire. Minute 34 here remaining in the third quarter. The lead cut in half, now 2-1 after the goal by the man who committed the foul, number 17, Jamie Thomas.
Minute 34 remaining here within this third quarter. Empire still up by a score of 2-1. Seen a couple of goals here in this quarter. Andy Reyes and Jamie Thomas. Strykers have it on the restart. The pass into Orozco. Orozco chips it high in to Randy Martinez. Martinez into that corner, gets muscled away from an attacking opportunity by Pacheco. Tony Delatorre finds Orozco. Orozco goes back to the former man out of Kansas City. You want to talk about get out of Dodge? He's from Dodge City, Kansas. Well, Missouri, I should say. When you get out of Dodge, well, Tony Delatorre got out of Dodge as he's now in Southern California. I've been waiting to say that all season long. Come to think of it.
It took you a minute there to get that out, but I like it.
It did. Less than a minute to go. Dieguez into Pacheco. Ball finds its way back over to the capable feet of Silva. Pacheco has it back over to Silva in the midfield. Skirts it into Enrique. Enrique gets bodied off the ball, and that's going to be a foul on the Strykers. Quick restart here for Baltimore. 41.9 seconds remaining here in this third quarter.
Yeah, Munir Alami committing the foul there. Dangerous spot for a restart here for Baltimore.
Hearing the song Zombie Nation played on the loudspeakers here in Toyota Arena. Barrera into Sila. Into that corner to Enrique. Enrique has just been worked heavily by Robert Palmer.
Palmer's put
Headed
on
by
a
Melo
clinic.
into Sila. 22 seconds remaining. The chip to Melo. Melo, fancy footwork and a great touch into that corner, trying to find his way past the defense of the Empire Strykers, and that's going to be a foul against Empire, as Israel Cisse isn't going to deny that he was part of that infraction.
We're seeing a lot of minutes here from Izzy Cisse. This might be his most minutes he's played in quite some time for the Empire Strykers.
Leads this franchise in games played. Off the corner, nearly a Walla. Porch, upper corner. He took the 110 to the 405, got off the highway and smacked that bad boy right through Main Street. We are now tied at 2-2.
Number 4, Chad Porch. He leads the Baltimore Blast in goals for a reason. This one top bins with everything he had behind it. His 14th goal. He came into this tied for 12th in the league in goals. That'll move him up just a little bit here. Number 14 scored by number 4. And God, I hate it when it's right when you say it. The worst lead, 2-0. We're knotted at 2 with 7 seconds remaining.
Ball comes off of the wall. An opportunity! And just like that, oh, so quickly, the Empire strikes back. Leo Espinosa out of Santiago, Chile, converts on his second goal of the season. The Empire goes up 3-2.
La Pantera stalking his prey there in the box. A calm restart played over the top, and that is exactly how you wanted to respond if you are the Empire Strykers. Pantera goes 5-hole, and just like that, Empire back on top 3-2.
If you don't love seeing goals as quickly as this, you don't have a pulse. A final attempt in to Orozco, and that concludes the third quarter. We've got ourselves a ball game, as we've had this entire game. Baltimore came back up, created the equalizer. Espinosa puts the Empire up 3-2. 15 minutes remains from declaring a winner. We will be back for the conclusion of this game. You are watching the Major Arena Soccer League, Empire versus Baltimore on CBS Sports, Golazo Network.
The wait is over. The 2025 MASL season is here. Bigger and better than ever. Get ready for high-speed action, jaw-dropping goals, and fierce competition as your favorite teams battle it out on the field. With intense rivalries, unforgettable moments, and new stars rising, the MASL delivers excitement every week. Get your tickets now and be part of the excitement, because this season, the action is non-stop.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast delivers stories of inspiring individuals like the Strykers, Marco Fabian, Momo, and their remarkable personal journeys.
Because you're going to see people from all parts of life. They're us, everyday people facing everyday obstacles, and how they overcome them is a blueprint for all of us to learn from.
If you want to be inspired, subscribe to the FYI podcast.
Ourselves a challenge flag earlier, and if you disagree with the call tonight, you might just see it on the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review, with Phil Ivanko and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday on YouTube. And speaking of things to catch MASL Monday, every Monday night on MASL TV, on YouTube and CBS Sports Golasso Network. Alex Postruvansky and the most popular man in the MASL, Phil Ivanko, are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. Let's talk about hot topics, MASL social media. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL on Twitter. JR, we saw a couple of goals in quick succession, both by the Baltimore Blast and the Empire Strykers in 2 straight games. His only 2 games as a professional indoor soccer player. Leonardo Espinosa finds the back of the net twice, and this was a very crucial goal, putting Empire up by a score of 3-2 going into the fourth quarter.
2 goals within 5 seconds. That's why they call it Football Rapido all over the world. What an exciting end to the third quarter. 5 seconds apart. We got Chad Porch netting for Baltimore, and then Leo Espinosa, La Pantera, puts Empire back up by 1. 15 minutes to go here at Toyota Arena.
I think the most important thing out of all of that is the fact that these are 2 players that are within their infancy in the indoor game, and we've seen some tremendous goal scoring thus far. With a game that is created by momentum, you know that the Baltimore Blast created some for themselves, but will that goal by Espinosa kind of calm things down for Dave Bascom's Blast side, Scarf?
Look, to quote the new Spider-Man cartoon, with great talent should come great respect. And we've seen these 2 players, Chad Porch and Leo Espinosa, they've got the talent. Now they're earning some respect here in MASL. But Baltimore, getting off the schneid, scoring the 2 goals there in the third quarter, they are certainly back and right within this one.
Speaking of back, I didn't realize you were back to watching cartoons. I'm very impressed. Look at that fancy footwork by Justin Stinson, getting by Patrick Thompson. Still hangs on to it. The juggler extraordinaire skirts it through off of the PV's dasher board. Munir Alami regains possession in the Palmer. Palmer with the spin on Thomas. Thomas, who created himself a goal, stripping Alan Perez for the first goal for the Baltimore Blast. And we see a whistle, or hear a whistle, down on the turf.
Yeah, speaking of juggling, fancy footwork, here at Toyota Arena, tomorrow, the Harlem Globetrotters. I got to find myself out here. I haven't seen the Harlem Globetrotters since I was 9 years old at the fabulous Forum in Inglewood.
Well, it is President's Day weekend, and hopefully y'all get to have some opportunity, maybe some time off. I know not everybody gets that opportunity. I have it. I'm going to enjoy it.
Look at Harold Hansen hustling that ball down in the corner. Hansen has had an excellent game here on Ontario night at Toyota Arena in Ontario, California.
I love the way Hansen's been playing. Again, runaway freight train anytime he has the ability to speed through the opposition's defense. Andy Reyes, who found the back of the net, gets it over to Martinez. This is going to be an interesting stretch. 2 teams really looking to continue their ascent up the rankings, and Mello is going to get whistled for the foul on Martinez.
Andy Reyes, by the way, also credited with the assist on that goal from Leo Espinosa. A goal and an assist for number 21 today.
Well, he's going to have a star. Pass comes into Espinosa. Shot deflected. Porch with the defense. Aguirre in to Stinson. Stinson over to Perez. Perez into Aguirre. This is where the Blast have thrived, pushing the Strikers off of the ball. Into Stinson in that corner. He's got Mello on him. Stinson with the turnaround, shot off of the board. Another attempt. Marco Fabian with the chest. Trying to create a play for himself.
You saw him load up not once but twice. Marco wanted to let that one rip from the left side, but good defending there by the Blast.
Marco has been relatively quiet into today's game, but we know he's very good at opportunities. And there's an opportunity, speaking of which. And we haven't seen a goalkeeper change here. Ball is loose. Rodriguez has it.
Yeah, that's still Brian Orozco between the pipes. Normally, Empire likes to switch it off between quarters.
You're absolutely right. We were anticipating Brandon Gomez in. Porch into Pacheco. Pacheco shot just above the crossbar. Recovered by Fabian. Fabian passes it in. Tough touch by Alami. Marked by Pacheco. Alami still sticks with it. But Blast How Alami continued to maintain possession is beyond me.
Yeah,
what a talented player.
This rookie has been something else, Munir Alami, having a fantastic season, 12 goals, 7 assists. Like we said, his next point will be his 20th. And Justin Stinson taken out, and the blue card shown immediately. That one on number 77. That was a dangerous tackle by Wellington Bramuse.
Tarjeta Azul, a blue card. Smurf Village is open for business. Why Smurf Village? A blue card is small. What is small and blue? A Smurf. I know Smurfs don't exist, but why not create some fun lexicons here? The Empire Strykers are now going to have an opportunity at a power play, but you mentioned it on a couple of occasions.
Yep.
Baltimore is 100% on the penalty kill. The Strykers, can they be the first team to score on the unbelievable power play defense that Baltimore implements?
13 games now, no goals given up on the power play, and it's Robert Palmer, number 51, in the 6th attacker kit here on the power play.
Pass comes into Tony Delatorre. Delatorre getting a lot of minutes into today's game. Reyes into Stinson. Stinson, Thompson denies him his effort. Ball comes back to Palmer. Palmer wearing the captain's armband, that captain's coalition. Palmer fires it in. Ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. Alami right off of Silva.
Another ball off the post for the Empire Strykers. Supposed to get a little love here at home, but that's the second one that has pinged off and out for the Empire.
Delatorre with some space. Delatorre creates it over to Fabian. Fabian crossing that yellow line. Shot stayed by Rodriguez.
Yeah, Rodriguez saw that one all the way, and that one not with the usual power behind we've seen a lot of these Marco Fabian shots. Robert Palmer headed all the way back to get the touch to Andy Reyes as they play with the 6th attacker, no keeper. That's Robert Palmer out there in the 51 kit.
52 seconds remaining within this power play. Can the Empire put a blemish on the penalty kill of the Blast? Stinson trying to get by Mello into Fabian. Fabian with a shot. That comes right off of Silva. And that's going to be a corner kick restart for Empire. 40 seconds within this power play. 10 minutes and 19 within this 4th quarter.
That's the power we've been talking about from the foot of Marco Fabian. The leg buckling there of Mateus Silva. But it'll be a corner restart for the Empire.
Silva, another Brazilian, a rookie in this league, coming in having played 12 games. He's got himself 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. Andy Reyes on the restart, as he has been at the helm all season long. Pass into Palmer. 37 seconds remaining in this power play. Munir Alami over to Fabian. Fabian thought about winding up, finds Justin Stinson. Stinson in. Palmer thought about shooting it, finds Alami. Alami with a little bit of space. Shot fired, saved by Rodriguez.
What a save, Julian Rodriguez. That's why he's one of the best keepers in MASL. Saw it all the way going down, getting it to both paws on that one. Beautiful save, Julian Rodriguez.
13 seconds remaining in this power play. Can the Strykers at least get one more shot off before the sin bin is emptied? Shot, another opportunity, thwarted.
2 straight kick saves. Julian Rodriguez, have yourself a moment. Wow.
And the penalty is successfully killed. Baltimore just so efficient on that penalty kill. How many teams can we say are 100% this late into the season as far as their penalty kill is concerned? Blast just so dominant in that category. Pacheco open. Pacheco nearly went for a walla. Ball is loose, finds its way over to Porch. Porch in a striker's sandwich, gets that taken away. Either way, the Blast regained possession. Sila in the Pacheco. Pacheco thought about crossing into the attacking third, decides to restart the offense. Ball comes into Wellington, back over to Pacheco. Pacheco out of Northridge, California, former member of this franchise.
Yeah, a few players as comfortable here visiting in Toyota Arena as Jesus Pacheco, number 8. Again, having himself an excellent season in Baltimore. 9 goals, 7 assists.
Sila goes into Dieguez. We see a foul. I thought it was going to be a foul. Ball is loose, and that goes right off of the penalty box. It's going to be a drop ball, and that gives both teams an opportunity to create a line change.
San Antonio Regional Hospital is a proud sponsor of the Empire Strykers, keeping our community strong, healthy, and active for over 115 years. San Antonio Regional Hospital, here for life.
Martinez in the Palmer. We see Orozco outside of his box trying to utilize the goalkeeper to create an attacking opportunity, a man advantage opportunity.
And what I love about Empire, you'd think with the lead this late in the game, maybe they'd sit back. Not at all. Brian Orozco right back up across midfield. Randy Martinez putting in work along the boards right in front of the Baltimore bench.
Pacheco recovers into Pereira. Pereira facing some pressure from Perez, goes back over to his keeper, Rodriguez. Ball comes into Silva. Silva into Mello. Mello back over to Thompson. Two players that represented the Blast in the All-Star game. And there's Enrique, taken away by the Strykers. But look at the defense by Porch.
Someone's got to let Randy Martinez know Chad Porch was behind him, but known for his offense, stepping up on D there is the rookie, Chad Porch.
Loving the way that this kid is playing. Fantastic player. Represents the city of Baltimore very well. Back over from Porch to Silla. Quentin Swift is going to advance on him. Enrique tried to get around Perez. And Orozco has it into Hansen. Hansen with space to operate. He's got Swift on the 2-on-1. Too much on that pass. Does not connect with Swift. That would have been a brilliant 2-on-1 conversion. Enrique pokes it over to Porch. 6:50 remaining here in the quarter.
Things opening up a little bit here. Harold Hansen just a little too much on that one. Otherwise, we would have seen the lead doubled 4-2, but alas, couldn't get on the other end of it. Here's Pacheco with it just inside the midfield stripe.
Next dead ball is going to send us to immediate timeout. The pass intercepted by Fabian. Fabian in danger, shot, and a goal!
No.
Jesus Pacheco, in his return to Southern California, creates a devastating blow and an equalizer. The score is now 3-3.
Marco Fabian put his hand up on the giveaway, and that leads to an equalizer by the former member of the Empire Strykers, and we are knotted at 3 with 6:25 to go.
With 6 calls, runway 26 right, clear to land.
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back, utilizing their professional power to touch and inspire people in their local communities nationwide. Free soccer clinics, where kids can meet their heroes and learn new skills. After-school programs and special events. And surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
It's first half between both sides, and we've seen quite a few goals scored between the Baltimore Blast and the Empire Strykers. 3-3 with 6:25. Jesus Pacheco just tied the game for the Baltimore Blast. That is his 10th goal of the season. The last time Pacheco managed to have double-digit goals was back in 22-23 when he was a member of the Empire Strykers. His career high, 14 goals. Halfway through the season, he's already en route to get that. Another attempt just misses. Close call as the Baltimore Blast were looking to take their first lead of the game. Pass comes into Stinson. Stinson off of his chest, still sticks with it. Stinson with a lot of contact. Another opportunity, ball is loose. Alami has it. Back over to Aguirre.
Yeah,
Aguirre.
Philly, the turnover bug. biting Empire Strykers again. That one uncharacteristic by Marco Fabian, right in the middle of his own box. I mean, it was right on the doorstep there for Jesus Pacheco, and he walked right in.
For those wondering what happens at the conclusion of this quarter if nobody goes up, well, there is no tie. We're going to be heading into overtime. We'll talk more about that should we get into that scenario. But for now, we still have a very competitive affair here, 5 minutes and 15 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Empire's got to keep their foot on the gas here. Once again, Baltimore able to equalize. They equalized at 2-2 and now at 3-3. 5 minutes remaining in this one. Will we see a winner here in the final five?
Orozco with a shot, fires, just misses above the crossbar. You saw the hustle behind that muscle. Orozco, who has scored from there before. Two keepers for the Empire Strykers have found the back of the net. Stinson with a shot. Ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling off the right post. Stinson continues to regain possession into that corner, spins himself out of trouble, but gets his pocket picked by the Blast. Boy, did I run out of breath on that call.
The third post hit today by Empire Strykers. The home cooking not quite ready yet for Empire.
And Enrique made contact with Orozco, but Orozco sticks with it, looking at the official, wanting to get some kind of call. We resume play. Palmer in to Perez. Perez into Orozco, who is wide open with some room and some space to run. Orozco backtracks into Palmer. Palmer, the two-time defender of the year, commanding the offense to the left to Perez. The Strykers are going to look to milk some time off of the clock. Do they want to send it into overtime? Do they want to end it here in regulation? Quentin Swift back into the game. Swift back over to Palmer. Look at the defense by Dieguez. That ball is loose, but had Palmer not been there, we're looking at a potential open net for Dieguez. Ball is loose. In. Silva has it. Pacheco into Pereira. To the left. Baltimore now looking to spread things around.
Empire Strykers absolutely playing with fire there on defense for a couple of possessions. Beautiful pass across the mouth of goal to Porch, but he'll play it all the way back out to the top.
Getting into that crunch time, nitty-gritty here in the Inland Empire of Southern California, Ontario, on Ontario, the city of Ontario night. A town 35 miles east of downtown Los Angeles. A beautiful city, by the way.
Yeah, this game has ground to a halt here with just about 2:40 to go. Baltimore valuing possession over opportunities.
Sila with Fabian directly in front of him, decides to go back over to Thompson. Thompson, the veteran, goes over to Pereira, another veteran to veteran. Play looking to get established. Ball gets stripped by Perez. There's Espinosa, and that's going to come off of Pereira. Strykers are going to regain possession.
I absolutely love what number 9, Leonardo Espinosa, brings to this Strykers club. Just his second game, and he's got a goal in both, I believe.
2:19 here in this fourth quarter. Are we looking at overtime? Are we looking for more soccer? You know what's better than soccer, Scarf? More soccer. But will we see more soccer? I don't know. Silva, ball is loose, Reyes. And that comes out of play. I love the attempt, though, by Munir Alami as he tried to find his way into the stands to head it back into play.
Aggressive defending there by number 32, Mateo Silva, on Justin Stinson there in the box. Silva checking on Stinson to make sure he's okay. He's rubbing that noggin there, making sure everything is still in the same spot.
Off of the board. Enrique tried to head it, but Orozco is there. Orozco rolls it into Reyes. Reyes facing a high line pressure by the Baltimore Blast. Aguirre into Reyes. Reyes off the wall to Stinson. Back over to Aguirre. Just a tough touch by Aguirre.
Yeah,
he gets the ball
touch
stripped by Porch. Very heavy touch. Into Jamie Thomas. Jamie Thomas. Dieguez with a clearing. Dieguez, a very dangerous player. Into Thomas. Ball is loose. And that's going to be a foul on Dieguez. Boy, what a glorious opportunity that could have been for the Baltimore Blast.
Wow, the foul called on Dieguez, but Jamie Thomas looking around, he wanted the foul called on Marco Fabian as he got hit in the leg from behind. We see 2 players down, or excuse me, Justin Stinson was the one that got him.
Dieguez goes down. It looks like he got the foul. Dieguez was in the box with some space to run. Is that Fabian?
Yeah,
it is Marco Fabian. Couldn't tell from our angle here. Marco Fabian gets picked right back up by the official. And shout out to our officials, by the way. And it looks like we are going to get a review, a challenge flag thrown on the turf by Baltimore Blast head coach Dave Bascombe.
Philly, they're going to look at that foul inside the box, or I should say the no call inside the box there on Jamie Thomas as Justin Stinson got him from behind. He came up immediately, turned around, looked at the official. This is a huge moment with just 1 minute, 28 seconds remaining. Let's take a look at the replay overhead.
There we see the pass into the box.
Hard to tell from that angle. It's above, so you don't see how much of the ball, if at all. Let's take a look from this other angle.
There's Dieguez into that corner. Fabian is going to get in the middle.
Yeah, really hard to tell to see if Justin Stinson got leg or ball or both. You'd have to think if they didn't call the last one when Empire threw their challenge flag, not sure how you can call this one.
Look, shout out to our production staff for creating these angles. Not sure if that's going to be conclusive.
Now that looked like Stinson got the ball, but let's see. Yep.
2 challenge flags thrown on the turf by both teams' coaches. Both challenge flags not awarded. So with 1:28, we are still knotted up at 3-3. I don't know, JR. Are we heading into overtime? I love me some more soccer. The question is whether both teams want to play a little more soccer.
Yeah, look, that was a tough one. If you're Jamie Thomas, you got to go to your coach and say, look, I think he got me. I'm not sure. It's a bad time. It's a great time to use your challenge, but a bad time to lose it, as with 1:28 left, both teams now out of challenge flags. We're going to play the final 88 seconds. I think we get a winner, Philly. I think we get a winner in this final 1:28.
Well, if we do get the winner, then I am going to ask you for some lottery numbers at the conclusion of this broadcast. But until then, got ourselves 1:28 left here in this 4th quarter. The official is going to lay it over to Orozco. Orozco throws it in, headed by Mello. Palmer and Espinosa. You see how physical Espinosa is. He just adds a whole different element to the Empire Strykers attack. We have a whistle down on the turf.
Speaking of physical, we talked about Mateo Silva being physical in the corner, and now he gets physical there with La Pantera, letting the official hear it. But it'll be a drop ball restart for Justin Stinson. Robert Palmer out there along with Andy Reyes, Marco Fabian, and La Pantera, Leo Espinosa.
We're going to see a line change for both sides. 1:07 here within this 4th quarter. We've had a really exciting one here at Toyota Arena, 3-3. A low-scoring affair considering both team average 7, and that would be the Blast, 6.3 for the Empire Strykers. Under a minute remaining. Robert Palmer with the interception. Stinson has the touch in trying to go through that attacking third. Stinson with the footwork. Stinson shot just misses. Picked up by Silla. Silla bangs it off of the wall. Headed in. Off of the boards. Mello has it. Mello gets taken down by Martinez. 37 seconds remaining. Who's putting on that Superman cape? Will somebody go into the phone booth? Go from Clark Kent to the Man of Steel. Moments away from figuring that out. Stinson trying to get by Thompson. What defense? But Stinson recovers. Ball comes into Hansen. Hansen, who scored the first goal of the game. 15 seconds in. Hansen over to Palmer. Palmer fires it just off of the mark. Thompson. Stinson has it. Palmer has it. Tries to chip it. Just misses. A nose hair shy of getting the game winner. 3.2 seconds. And if this result holds, we are going into overtime.
It looked like that one got deflected as Robert Palmer tried to chip. They'll throw it the length, but that will be the final whistle of the fourth quarter.
Folks, this game does not end in a tie. We are going to overtime. A winner will be declared today, but both teams are going to secure a point. We've had a fun one here tonight in Toyota Arena. Don't you dare go anywhere. We got some more indoor soccer live from the bright lights at Toyota Arena. Back in a moment with overtime.
With 6 calls, runway 26 right, clear to land.
Overtime here in Toyota Arena. The Empire Strykers and the Baltimore Blast are tied at 3 apiece. Christian Filliman and J.R. Liebert, we are still here, sweaty and barely with a voice. It's been an exciting game thus far. The Empire Strykers are heading into this overtime period with a lion's share of shots. We're talking 24-10 on the Baltimore Blast. One thing we can say without a shadow of a doubt is that the Blast have been very efficient on their opportunities. Again, only 10 shots, but they've converted 3 goals, and a lot of it coming by way of fantastic defense.
You want to talk about efficiency. Despite being outshot 8-1 in the quarter by the Empire Strykers, the one was all that mattered. It's a goal for the Baltimore Blast to knock things up at 3. As you can see the stats there, it's been the lion's share of the offense by the Empire Strykers, but despite just 10 shots on the day, 3 goals apiece.
Julian "the Steak" Rodriguez, goalkeeper for the Baltimore Blast, has himself a significant number of saves. Why are we calling him the Steak? Because he's been peppered by the Empire Strykers all day long, and he has come up time and time again. 10 minutes within this overtime period. It is a golden goal. Whoever scores within this period comes out victorious. If no team scores, we are heading into a shootout. That's the beauty of indoor soccer. A winner will be declared. There will be no ties.
Yeah, this will be a fun one. Knotted at 3. Both teams playing excellent defense, but 2 very costly turnovers for the Empire Strykers, leading to 2 goals by Baltimore.
And there's going to be a foul going against Israel Cisse. He does not like that call. Cisse really hustling in and had himself an opportunity to find the back of the net earlier within the quarter. 9 minutes and 34 here within this overtime period. The restart, Pereira's going to chip it high, trying to find Dieguez, but headed by Palmer. Palmer in to Cisse, the captain, into Hansen, a through ball. Martinez with a shot. Field goals it. It's going to be a goalkeeper restart for Rodriguez.
Well high, but a nice dummy run there by number 45, Harold Hansen, and Randy Martinez just couldn't get that one on frame. We've already seen Empire hit at least 4 posts today on their way to the 3-3, not so far.
Well, posts aren't going to do it for you. It's only going to create an opportunity for the painter to color those goalposts purple a little more. That's the only person that's getting paid anytime any team hits the pipes.
Here's Robert Palmer backing it up there on defense, the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Palmer back over to Orozco. Intercepted by Silva.
Philly Orozco really putting in the work tonight. Played 3 of the 4 quarters, and now beginning here in overtime. Normally Empire liking to switch it up quarter to quarter, but they must like what they see from Brian Orozco.
And there he is again, Brian Orozco. Started his youth career for Guatemalan Giants, Comunicaciones, the U17 I mentioned earlier. Played for the national senior Guatemalan futsal side. Brian Orozco spent time between Guatemala City and Riverside, really coming into his own. One of the fine young keepers in this league to go along with Brandon Gomez, and of course former goalkeeper of the year. Strikers have at their disposal is Clayson De Lima, who is a scratch today. Silva looking to advance it past Alan Perez, puts on the brakes, goes back over to the midfield to Mello. Mello dumps it in the corner to Wellington. Welly and Palmer, the back heel, Walla. And Mello tried to get cheeky and play with Orozco, but Orozco gets in the way, intercepting the Walla.
Here's Robert Palmer. He stepped in front of Marco Fabian late in the 4th quarter there. Maybe an opportunity for a one-timer, but here we are back in overtime, and it's Brian Orozco in a hurry.
He fires it. Brian Orozco, upper left corner. Strikers win. Strikers win. Brian Orozco with the game winner. Uncle Franz, there you are again. Your upper corner where you keep the good stops. The Strikers with the unbelievable victory defeats the Baltimore Blast, snapping a 2-game losing streak. Strikers win 4-3. Knackered.
Brian Orozco is your goalkeeper, everybody, for the Empire Strykers. And just like that, Brian Orozco calls game top bins. You will not see a better goal in MASL this week than the goalkeeper for Empire just scored. Number 1, Brian Orozco sends us all home happy.
Phil Lavanco, Alex Boschovansky. If I don't see this tomorrow night, President's Day on MASL Monday, I'm putting in a phone call to Commissioner Keith Tozer. That was the goal of the weekend. Brian Orozco, who's done that before. He created a sequel, his 2nd goal of the season, a huge win against a very talented Baltimore Blast side that were sitting in 3rd place. This is a statement. We said during the pregame, the Strikers are a team capable of raising eyebrows and surprising the league, and they did that just today.
Empire Strykers have given up 96 goals coming into this match on the season, the 4th most of any club in MASL, and yet tonight they hold the Baltimore Blast to 3 and get one from their very own keeper. The only thing I'm disappointed in, Philly, he didn't jump into the stands to hug his family like the last one.
Well, he might as well have, but what a just tremendous goal. I am flabbergasted at how emphatic and the confidence. Look at that replay again. Brilliant footwork, brilliant ball movement. Andy Reyes creating the opportunity. He's going to get credit for another assist. There's Orozco confidently getting by Wellington past that yellow line. Fires it like a bazooka, laser beams it past Rodriguez, who up to this point was getting peppered like a steak. What a great goal for the young man from Riverside and Guatemala City.
A fantastic performance between the pipes for Rodriguez, but all for naught. Empire Strykers 4-3.
And we're going to send it down to Panda as she's standing by with the goal scorer game winner.
Hey guys, I am here with Brian Orozco, goalkeeper tonight. It was definitely a battle with goalkeepers, and it took a goalkeeper to win this game. How does it feel?
You know, it's always a blessing being able to do my part to help the team win. So, I just want to give thanks to God for this, another goal in my career. So, very happy.
It took an entire team effort to pull out this win against this really tough Blast squad. Tell me what went right with this team and what was the game plan coming into it?
We have a game plan. We possess the ball and we create the chances. Yeah, there wasn't that many goals, but we did our part, which was fight to the end. And we were told, Obasi told us, stay patient, it's going to come, and it came. So we followed the game plan, and that's the result of the game.
How's it feel right now?
Oh, man, so amazing. So amazing to see all these people supporting us.
Congratulations, go celebrate. Thanks, Brian. Back to you guys.
Brian Orozco, take a bow. All glory to God. Tremendous goal. His second goal of the season. Scarf, this has been a great game of indoor soccer. 7 goals scored from each side. Back and forth affair. We thought the Baltimore Blast were going to claw their way back into the game. They did so very effectively defensively, but the Empire had an answer. Folks, we're going to recap the rest of this game when we come back, but we're going to take a quick break to wipe the sweat off of our eyebrows, and we'll be back to wrap this up for you. What a game. Empire beats the Blast 4-3.
With the call, throwing to 6th grade. We're on.
Indoor soccer fans, it's time to unleash a giant leap for fandom. Introducing MASL Indoor Soccer Fantasy Football. Build your dream team, invite your friends, and create your own draft league, all for free. Draft and trade players and win bragging rights as your team dominates the league. With MASLI Football, you're not just a fan, you're part of the action. Go to MASLI Football to sign up, get started, and play.
Welcome to the broadcast booth here at Toyota Arena in Ontario, California. What a fantastic result. The Empire Strykers win in overtime, beating the Baltimore Blast by a score of 4-3. My name's Christian Filliman. That's J.R. Liebert. Brian Orozco had himself one heck of a game, playing 3 quarters and the overtime period, making some saves, doing his thing, scoring his second goal of the season, putting the Empire up on a very talented Baltimore Blast team, which, if you were playing your odds, the way that the Blast have been playing all season, we thought that they would have Empire's number, but what a game by the Strykers.
To quote one of our good friends, Mike Breen, from way downtown, bang, an absolute rocket by Brian Orozco. An incredible goal here to close things out 4-3 for the Empire.
We came into this overtime period with the stats. The shots were led by Empire 24-10, but that one shot, which puts the Empire to 25,
was the shot by Orozco. Orozco, in his third season within the MASL, comes up huge time and time again, and he had some help. Great playing by the Empire Strykers. We had goals by Harold Hansen, Andy Reyes. It was a great team effort, and Onuo Obasi has to feel some satisfaction beating a team that he once played for and won a championship with.
Yeah, if not for a couple of turnovers here, this one wouldn't have even needed overtime. Excellent team defending by a club that normally gives up goals. 96 goals given up on the season, but just 3 here tonight.
Still have so much more season left in the indoor game for the Baltimore Blast. Their next game will be at Tacoma on February the 21st. For the Empire Strykers, they will be playing on Amanda the Panda Philemon's birthday, February the 20th, against the Texas Outlaws, a team that they had beaten, but a team that's been really interesting as of late after having beaten the Milwaukee Wave. Look, this was an exciting game of indoor soccer, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. A big shout out to all our friends in Baltimore. You know who you are. We've had conversations before. Some of the best fans in this league. You've got a great team, a great franchise, and I want to tip my hat off to the owner of the Blast, Ed Hale, who I got to meet during the Combine. A tremendous individual. We had ourselves a lot of laughs. I know you're not feeling happy about this result, Mr. Hale, but I just want to say your team is excellent, and we really took a great deal of respect, and we're honored to have called this game. Scarf, any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
Yeah, big thank you to all the production crew here at Toyota Arena and on the Golazo Network as part of CBS Sports. Such a blast here in Ontario, California at Toyota Arena. Empire Strykers 4, Baltimore Blast 3. What a night.
What a night indeed. Look, on behalf of myself, Christian Philemon, better known as Philly, or in this case with my pink suit, Miami Vice Philly, my colleague and my partner in crime, J.R. Liebert, around these parts, he's known as the Scarf, not because of anything other than the fact that he has the biggest collection of soccer scarves you will ever see. I appreciate him being in the booth with me. Look, your final score, once again, the Empire Strykers, 4-3, the overtime winner scored by Brian Orozco, as you see on your screen. What a fantastic golazo, and we are honored to have been part of a presentation of the Major Arena Soccer League on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Have a good night, enjoy your President's Day weekend, and we will see you soon under the bright lights of Toyota Arena once again. Philly and the Scarf, we out!
The wait is over. The 2025 MASL season is here. Bigger and better than ever. Get ready for high-speed action, jaw-dropping goals, and fierce competition as your favorite teams battle it out on the field. With intense rivalries, unforgettable moments, and new stars rising, the MASL delivers excitement every week. Get your tickets now and be part of the excitement, because this season, the action is non-stop.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast delivers stories of inspiring individuals like the Strykers, Marco Fabian, Momo, and their remarkable personal journeys.
Because you're going to see people from all parts of life. They're us, everyday people facing everyday obstacles, and how they overcome them is a blueprint for all of us to learn from.
If you want to be inspired, subscribe to the FYI podcast.